Welcome to this episode of Outcast Outclassed.
Happy New Year! Ba, 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 ba.
Pen.
Beautiful.
Wow, Maria.
Pen.
Them pipes. Pen.
Pen.
Gorgeous.
The poor podcast listeners are like, pen?
What is
Pen.
this?
Which one?
You gotta come watch us live sometime and you'll
want to know? Get in the
probably regret
Discord.
it, but one way to find out.
The only thing you missed was blue peens.
No, why?
Brought it back.
And there goes that one podcast listener. They're gone.
Yeah, now we just more
Gonna have
question
to-
marks are.
And I have to bleep it on YouTube.
Call in,
no.
Syrup will explain it.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
All right, first, some very brief announcements. Let's get this show on the road. So, a little birdie told us that the Streamer Award nominations are live, y'all, until I believe the 19th. That means if you like what we do, you can help get us nominated. Categories, there's a bunch of categories. You can go to thestreamerawards.com/nominations. There's so many categories, so you can absolutely nominate, all your favorite streamers on Twitch, or other. I don't know if it's limited to Twitch, but streamers, I think, from all sorts of categories. But I think some of the ones that are appropriate to the things that we do here, there is categories like Hidden Gem, Best Roleplay Streamer, Stream Game of the Year, Best Streamed Series, Outcast and Outclassed, pretty cool, and Streamer of the Year. So anything else you see fit. So if you like what we do, go check it out, thestreamerawards.com/nominations, and we'd appreciate that support.
I will say it's open till the 19th, which happens to be my birthday. As a birthday present, please go nominate us.
Yes. Now you have to.
You gotta.
You.
You gotta.
Got it.
All right, that is all the announcements I have today. So let's go quickly into those announcements and into the announcements. Good golly, the sponsors, and we'll get the show on the road. Maria.
It's 2024, and it might be a new year, but we've got the same dedicated sponsors as we did last year, starting with The Crafty Gamer. The Crafty Gamer is a company that sells delicious smelling and allegedly potentially tasting. Do not taste these candles.
Nope.
We do not endorse you eating candles. However, they smell good enough to eat. Do not eat these candles. Don't do it. We don't do it, but do buy them, light them, and smell the delicious scents of a beautiful forest or straight up dirt. There's one that smells like dirt, which is great for when you're wanting to add. Don't eat dirt.
Just eat
Don't
the
eat
fire.
candles.
I think we got the message across.
Craftygamer.com, thecraftygamer.com. Check out their Kickstarter that is coming soon, The Aromas of Adventure, which is going to be candles with metal dice inside of them, as well as a bunch of other things that they've got in their store. And go visit their store if you're in the general Florida area. They're pretty great. Thecraftygamer.com. Use code WafflesMaple while you're there to save a bit of cash and let them know that we sent you.
Speaking
Which
of
is
being
great.
sent,
Were you
guess
sent?
what? Really fast. I'm
What?
actually going to be there on this coming Sunday.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. Well, if you're in the area, you can go say hi to an Outcast and Outclassed member.
Duval
One
meet and greet.
Hideaki, Duval, King Jacobs.
Amazing.
Second sponsor of this stream, everyone. You may have heard of them if you've seen the show at all. Eldritch Osiris Games, a fantastic group of individuals, friends of this channel, and also the first ttrpg co-op in ever. They work with a bunch of other creators and are an inclusive group that tries to catapult everyone into the stars together, because as we go together, we all succeed, and it's great and it's wonderful. They primarily
Also,
focus
don't
on
eat them.
Also, don't eat them,
It's important.
Unless they
but
ask
do
for it, I
check
guess.
out and keep an eyes open for their successful Kickstarter that It has a lot to do with mechs and magic, and I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I do know...
Finder.
Mech Finder, thank you. I do know... You know why Syrup knows that? Because Syrup and Waffles are going to be writing some stuff for it, which is also really rad and cool. But do go check out EldritchOsirisGames.com and check out their wide selection of fantastic and wonderful things made by fantastic and wonderful people. Support others so that we can all grow together.
Beautiful.
That's it.
I just feel and see the sparkles in the air.
Just
Thank
don't
you.
eat them.
Just
Don't eat the sparkles.
Don't eat them.
Don't eat
Just
the
Don't eat the
them.
sparkles.
I think
Don't do
that's the theme. Change the name of
Just
the
don't eat
episode.
'em. Yeah, just don't eat 'em.
Enjoy the sparkles without your mouth.
The title of the
Instructions
episode
unclear.
is Math.
Burnt tongue on candle.
Don't eat them.
And
Math.
with that, I suppose we'll see you in class.
If we have to.
We got it.
Butts.
Welcome. So, I got totally distracted. Yeah, hey, so what's up?
So.
Last we left off, our wonderful group of outcasts, as they have now named themselves. Well, we started off in a haunted house, so to speak, but some conversations and diplomacy led to an interesting development, a poltergeist that was willing to hear them out. Being able to discover that what was the reason that this poltergeist was still here and bothering this poor new homeowner, I believe named Toku, was due to a missing statue. With some threads to go on and a name to pursue, you went off into the city to learn more. You found this person, but time for this poltergeist may have been a little skewed, as you soon found out that their murderer was not a young man as was remembered, but rather, at this point in time, an old grandpa of a sorts. Not just old, but clearly deep in regret and wallowing in far less fortunes than perhaps he once was. You learned a little bit more about some of the underground, is that the right word? Underworld, thank you. Of the underworld that may or may not still be going on. But I think you all had your suspicions answered. And with a little bit of, business acumen on the side happening with a little business card action, you left this individual's manor and headed back. But back to where is what I ask you as we pick back up.
Back.
To the future.
Back to black.
We're going.
Oh, if your name was still the future, that would have been really good.
Back to the future.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
A
Damn,
second
missed
time.
opportunity.
Again.
So as we're walking away, I think considering where we left it, I think Kiriak is probably the last one in, like, behind everyone, I think. And I think he's, as they sort of leave, with grin on his face. So I assume we head back to the Sprout House, maybe regroup for whatever we decide to do next, and call it an afternoon/evening.
Do we want to go tell Garrus what we found so that he's calm?
Well, we sent the men to talk to him, maybe.
That's right.
Suppose it depends on if we trust that to be good to leave it there.
I don't think we should waste our time with it.
I agree.
All right.
All right.
Look at us agreeing. Excellent.
Hideaki's all happy. The rest of us are on edge.
Yep. This is great.
So y'all are heading back to the Sprout House. Let's tell me what, a little bit about what your characters are thinking about the situation right now. Let's kind of summarize. I like a little investigative recap of a kind, and let's pretend, if you will, that as we go back to the Sprout House, you're putting all your clues on the table and making your nice little detective board with the red string and everything. Where are we at? What is everybody's thoughts on what is going on right now, and what leads do you all have?
Well, we have the lead of the underworld dude that we assume is dead.
Abu,
Abu.
the cudgel.
Right. Indeed.
Abu the cudgel.
Abu with a huh.
Yes,
Habu.
indeed.
Habu. Oh, Habu.
Habu.
Look, it's
Yeah.
a very
Habu.
different.
Oh, I thought you were
Disney.
genuinely kidding there. That's really
No,
funny.
I thought
No,
it was
it's got
Abu.
an H.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a name of a crime
The
lord
last
that
person who
We
had
have-
the thing.
An assassin?
Yeah, so there
There's an
were.
assassin that we don't know the name of.
Well, we have burglars,
Mhm.
at least.
Are you referring to the same?
I think
person
so.
here?
This
The
Ripley?
individual that helped.
The Gripley.
Yeah. I don't know if they were an assassin.
Sorry,
think they were
burglar.
just a-
I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe I
just
just
to
thought
help, like-
assassin since they said they would kill them.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assumption, to be fair.
But there was a strong correlation between the visions that most of us saw of this Gripply and the lockpicking and the lockpicks that we found
Mhm.
at the
Oh, but
Menagerie.
creatures.
Manu.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leading me to believe that this criminal underground is definitely still out and about and booping and dooping.
Well, when we were there, she did say that she was in trouble but couldn't tell us about it. So,
Yeah.
very, very likely at this point.
Yep. And Hideaki is speaking of leads, is hoping to find his new gambling friend that he helped out of debt.
That you paid a lot of money to.
Mhm.
So you have that individual that you don't exactly know where, that you know that they're somewhere to the north, I believe.
Right.
Jaya
Yeah.
was their name.
Mhm.
So that's somebody that you don't have tabs on, but may or may not be related. That's more a hypothesis that you're currently
Correct.
holding.
Yep.
You have a hypothesis as well of connecting this Gripply that you had this vision of with the Oba's wondrous creatures, potentially kind of bringing it to from the past to the now. Anything else?
Can I run my notes real quick?
You mentioned sort of the not just the leads, but like how's everybody feeling? We kind of alluded to it, but Hideaki is fucking beaming right now. He is so excited because he feels like his assumptions are being validated, and he has been searching for like something to hold on to short term with all of his long term things that he wants to do, and like finally there's some fucking momentum.
Yeah, something he can latch his teeth into. Or say, well, I mix metaphors, but you get, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Nom nom, baby. Nom nom.
So, yes.
Arc, as far as quote feeling, is a little, at this point, I don't know if it's showing or not, but inside at least is a little annoyed at the, again, run back and forth and get nowhere. For him, we were promised more and better things as, not graduates, but conversants, yeah.
Conversants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's got that underlying thing in the back of his head of he's above this.
Interesting.
Tal's upsetty spaghetti.
Oh. What about?
I think there was a lot of comparing this sad old guilt-ridden man with Tal's grandmother, Grandma Olu, and how she's kind of become an old, sad, guilt-ridden catfolk, and how there's like how much of what Kalembi did you can feel guilty as much as you want. You still did something terrible. And that's kind of bleeding a little bit. And now she's starting to think back into, I mean, isn't that kind of what my grandmother did too? But it wasn't quite the same. And now they're kind of like murmuring a little bit in their brain about all of that. Again, not as bad as before, but just...
Yeah, like it's a little uncomfortable. And
yeah.
What is Tal's like opinion on the sort of, we'll call it the investigation in the current moment? Are they curious to find out more information, or are they kind of like, doesn't really matter?
The investigation overall, Tal is exceptionally curious as to how far this could go, how big this actually is, because seemingly innocuous things are popping up to be potentially more related than they anticipated. And so it's definitely a curiosity to them to see what else is happening. And also, they would prefer people don't get murdered. That would be nice.
Yeah. And what about Airfay?
Airfly has a lot of emotions right now she doesn't understand. Something about what he did bothers her on a personal level, that she just, more than you betrayed your friend, and she doesn't quite know what that is. But on top of it, and this is not something she has shared and she understands there's a difference, but she just watched Tal scold someone for not sacrificing themselves for someone else. When not so long ago, Tal also scolded Airfay for being willing to sacrifice herself for someone. And she sees that there is a difference.
Fucking
like these are different situations, but that's churning. She's a little bit frustrated by the fact that in her mind right now, Tal will switch their moral compass based on how they are feeling. And that's maybe not the truth of it, but that is how Arafe is kind of.
I love it
Well,
so
just
much.
reading that.
Read me for filth, why don't you? God.
Busted.
Jeez.
So I'm envisioning right now, like y'all are sitting in the sprout house, kind of like all around, in the common area.
We have snacks. Don't worry about
Arafe's
it.
playing with her
Yeah.
snakes and
Fucking
paper
got it.
crayons.
Yes. And like just this is kind of happening, and I like to imagine that there's almost dual conversations happening both inside your heads and out loud, where all of you are working together to kind of consolidate all the different facts and information that you all have, while each of you internally is thinking something so completely different. And as this happens, you hear a small voice go, excuse me?
Our bags.
Tal?
I imagine Tal's like laying on like one of the many pillows that there's now in the main area, and will flop over. What is it, Benji?
I have a delivery for you. It's a letter.
Oh. And Tal will just kind of like reach a hand up for it.
It is a little letter that's just addressed to Taliatia at the Magaambya, care of like Zokon, which doesn't normally happen. It's like this was sent to Zokon like to get to you, and so this is from somebody that clearly knows the school or Zokon. And as you open it up, you see some neat handwriting that says, I'm very excited to say that your commission is complete, and it's ready for you to pick up whenever you would like. I think you're gonna like it. I'm pretty proud of this one. Signed, Niana.
I think that Tal was exceptionally like wary a little bit and concerned that this would be bad. And then as they are reading it, I think they're still reading it, just kind of like laying down, and then their ears will like perk up and their eyes will get wider and a little bit brighter. What time of day is it? Is it feasible to go there now?
It's probably at evening. It's probably evening. It would make more sense to go tomorrow.
Okay.
You guys were out of the school for a while, so it's possible
Yeah.
that like it was waiting for you.
Oh, that, you know what? That makes sense. I think Tal will like kind of not fully fold it, but like pull it down and look at the rest of the group. I have something to pick up in the city tomorrow morning if anybody wants to go with me to check on anything, I guess, or
Poke around.
get anything.
Yeah. I was thinking about going into the city myself, so happy to join you.
Might as
Okay.
well. We can poke around a little bit, see if we can figure out anything for this.
That's true. We could just look to see, I don't know, see it through the city through different eyes or something.
Different frame of reference.
Yeah.
Do you think it will be relevant to what we're doing?
Me going to the city?
Oh, well, all of us,
Oh,
since it seems like everyone is going.
there's always
It
a
could
chance
be.
it could be.
It's
It sounds like
bit of a
y'all are
shot in
going
the
to
dark.
investigate, right? Like you
Yeah.
guys are going
Yeah.
to look for
Tangentially,
information.
yeah.
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 You
Okay.
have
We're
something
hoping
to
it's
do,
handy.
and we have things to figure out. We might as well make a day of it.
Do we have school tomorrow?
Not if we don't want to.
Not if you don't want to.
We can catch up.
I've skipped class before. It's
Dude,
fine.
we're skipping a lot. We went from 0 to 2 now. Oh, interesting.
I am curious how deep you're sinking your teeth into this, and whether or not you are trying to say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this while continuing with schools and studies, or if you're like, we can skip a couple days. Let's keep going with this. And I see what you've chosen, and I'm fine with it.
I suppose we do have to go to class at some
Cal's
point.
distracted.
That was literally the reason for Art's question of like, is this going to be
Ah.
useful to what we're
Yeah.
doing? Because if it's not, then
Yeah.
he's going to go to
Mhm.
school.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
All right. So, with that, if unless somebody has something in particular, we'll go ahead and skip to the next day.
I was gonna say one thing that I might go along with is Hideaki and I got our butts kicked by a ghost.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
technically by like a book and like a nice rock.
Yeah, there's a separation,
A
you know?
big rock.
it was a big rock. So
It's a rocky
Arafe.
situation.
No! Stop it!
Yay! Yay! 2024 starts with puns.
Write that one in
Leaving.
the book.
Goodbye. My last episode now.
So Arafe is actually going to kind of notice that Hideaki's injured from this book, and she has not healed him yet. So she is gonna go ahead and kind of pull him aside to do that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It's like dried on its own because
Yeah.
you really didn't do much to it.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
so it's kind of crusted with blood, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's not pretty.
Yeah.
Should wash that off.
You know, it's kind of funny. Growing up, one of my favorite heroes in my books was this guy his nickname was JS, and he had this like really cool like slashing scar above his eye, and I always thought that I would love to have one, but then I remembered I have fur, and you wouldn't be able to see it.
I mean, depending on how big the scar is, you would, but I also don't know if you want to aim for that, especially around the eye
yeah.
area.
And also saying it's not really a great story to say like, yeah, a ghost threw a book at me. End of cool story. Not like I got it from like a cool like, one-on-one duel to the death.
You almost got killed by a book by a ghost.
Yep. Well, I mean, not almost killed, just tragically injured.
Tragically injured.
Yeah, sometimes you got to add a little flair to stories,
Sometimes, but not always.
Sure. When you say pull aside, where have you taken him?
I mean, she's just healing
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Some
So
main-
we're just kind of off to the side, not really
Okay.
I think
out anywhere.
I think Ark will kind of mosey over, probably from the middle of the room, and sit down across from both of you, not to get in the way. Probably lets he's probably sat there through the last part of that conversation, lets it go, and when there's a pause, they go, "Were you not ready for things to be thrown around the room?"
Not so aggressively. I assumed there would be anger, and I assumed there would be, honestly, I thought there would be more hollow threats. But it was a little more aggressive than I was prepared for, thus the rock to the face that you
Sure.
didn't see.
We were warned, yes?
Yes.
Sure, but I also think based off of the intelligence that Nim gave us, I think we were hoping for there to be a bit of a, not quite the aggression that we experienced right away.
I guess I was expecting warning shots rather than immediate, how do they
Shots
say
to
it?
the head?
Fuck you.
And those types of expectations will usually lead to, and he kind of looks at both of you, more serious injuries.
Thank you for the unsolicited advice, Sark 2.
You're welcome.
It is still a good point. Still a fault of mine of expecting better things than may necessarily be to come.
That makes sense. Ark is going to stand up, and as he's turning, he kind of says out loud, "I'm going to go study since I don't need to heal anything."
Great idea.
Sounds good, Ark.
Hideaki looks at you, Airfay, and just rolls his eyes.
He's capable.
Define capable, because I mean, like, if you look up in a dictionary, like, yeah, certainly.
Why are you
I don't know.
frustrated with Ark?
How long do you have?
All night.
I just don't know what I want to do. Rivals, not rivals. Friends, not friends. So I'm just trying to take them at face value, and it's not so easy for me.
Hideaki.
Hmm.
Why is it so important to you that Ark is your rival?
It's not anymore.
Insight check.
Yes. Excellent.
What is that in this game again?
Sense
Maybe
motive. It's
lion.
perception.
Perception.
Dice tell a motherfucking story. Natural 20 for a 29.
Yes. Now, you, Duval, can give insight here and make it clear if it's something that Hideaki himself has not realized for himself, you know? Or not. I don't actually know what the answer is, so, you know, do you?
I do, though. There is a classic, Hideaki flippantness in his delivery, but he is telling the 100% truth. And there is like an edge and seriousness to it.
that he does not really want Ark to be his rival.
It's
It's that he doesn't care, if I'm getting it
care.
correctly.
it's you could probably call it water under the bridge. Like, it seems like he's moved on to something else.
What are you hoping to do?
With Arc 2 or with just in general?
In general.
Well, and he'll manifest over Noza. Well, still got this guy stuck in the ash. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me is like, doesn't feel like I'm anywhere closer, but part of the reason why we came here to begin with is to get stronger. And it's just, a longer road than I'd hope. I hoped it would be. But then, all of this stuff has happened, and then, the speeches, which were really fun. It kind of gave me a bit of time to really focus on honestly, the answer to your question, because I honestly didn't know. It's all the things that I was doing, trying to get Overnoza out, back here, trying to resolve whatever conflict is between my dad and Overnoza. Nothing was really like for me. Yeah, sure, I want to be a hero and all that stuff, but like, that doesn't really all that matter. Then, like, I started to, meet people that I cared about, and I met this little kid in the city back when we were delivering letters that I really, really liked. And actually, the same kid, and remember when I like swam across the thing that I went to go meet and showed him some things? And I realized, just based off of like how that kid perceived me, I want to become what he thinks I am.
Interesting. I was wondering about that.
You're catching me after a lot of time and thought, which kind of sort of came out in that speech. Yours is really good, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, my favorite, if I'm being honest.
I had something different. but it felt better that way.
What'd you throw away?
The usual of, I'm going to use my power to heal people, to go home and take care of my village, and I realized that's not what I'm going to do. Ever.
Well, that begs a really interesting question. Given that, this sort of newfound edge, maybe independence, perhaps? Do you think you'll go back after all this is over? Lore Speaker Arafay.
If I am being completely honest, no. There's a lot of questions that I need answered, and I don't think I'm going to like the end of the road.
Well,
I don't know what that is, but I don't think it's going to be good.
well, for probably a completely different reason, you're not alone. I don't think I'm going back either.
Really?
I think even Overnosa goes, no.
I don't think so. I reserve the right, obviously, to change my mind at any moment's notice. But right now, I spent all this time. I sent my father this letter about how we could maybe bring incultatrice into the fold, tie it to the Magaambya, tie it to Natambu, and figure all this shit out. All while my people's concerns is the Watcher, kind of pointing at Overnosa, still watching? Is he still protecting the city? Protecting our town? All while these same people, are the reason why he's stuck there in the Astral Sea in the first place. To a certain extent.
You
But
sort of
I
kind of
also-
glance down at Rin for just a second before going back to you.
Cool.
The thing is, I think I'm trying to pull together too many different things. And he kind of points to his robes, which are the colors you would know are the colors of incultatrice. Although it means a lot to me, I think I want to be here instead.
If we would have had this conversation 2 weeks ago, I would have very different things to say to you right now.
What is up with this 2 weeks thing, right? No, I only thought about this a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. I am so proud of you.
What?
Good night, Hideaki. And she's gonna go to bed.
Oh my gosh.
I have
Faye
a
walks away.
page of Faye walks away. I have a page of things that she was gonna say, and you just threw it out the window, and it's glorious.
Yay! Do it again. Do it again.
Improv.
The door closes. I still have another question for her, though.
I mean, you can always go ahead and knock on her door if you want.
Nah. It would just blow this up. So I'm gonna live on this one. Yep. Yep. He just says that to Overnosa and just lays down.
And as you walk kind of back to your room, Overnosa is just like, what was the question?
Kind of smiles at Overnosa. I've grown to realize I'm a pretty good liar. But Arafay does something that I don't think I can do. Something that she's actually grown to be a little talented at, I think. And he just points to his face. What she says with her eyes and what she says with her smile are two different things.
Kind of looks at you for a second and nods. You noticed it too.
I've been sitting on it for a little while. But here's the
It'll come
deeper
up when it's
question:
time.
Is that a product of the Airfay now, or a resurfacing of the Airfay from before? It's
That's
so
a
exciting!
question. I think with that, like the camera kind of pales out of that room through the closed door, and as Ark is sitting in his room, and we don't have to. Is there anything that Tal's been doing in this time?
Tal's been trying to figure out why my internet browser is moving so slowly.
Tal's like internet.
Internet? I don't. I don't think so. I think that
Yeah,
there
it's
is.
totally
I
fair.
think that what they are doing. They're probably just still in the main area, like while all of the going back and forth and conversations, and then watches
And like one of your
Airfay
little
walk
hammocks
past
from the
and
top.
yeah, kind of hanging up there. But watching like Ark kind of join the conversation and watching them walk away, and then watching Airfay walk away, and watching Hideaki just be like, "What?" But not quite. Okay, I can't lie. I'm a cat. I could probably hear 90% of the conversation that was happening.
Absolutely, probably.
Yes, I was gonna say yes. And I
Yeah.
want I want to do something for you if you don't mind.
Oh, 100.
Make
I
me-
never mind.
A perception check. Because I wanna bring you into the fold on this. I think it's time.
Oh, yikes. 18.
Okay. Rewinding in time just a little bit. Especially because as Ark stood up, as he left that conversation, their tone carried a little bit louder. I'm gonna go study since I don't have to be healed, or I forget exactly what you said.
Since there's no healing that is
Yeah,
needed or
Because
something
I don't
like
need
that, yeah.
healing.
I don't need
So
healing.
I don't need to
Alright,
heal
something.
anything.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
The reason like your ear perks up is because Ark does not have a lot of intonation often in their words.
Mm-hmm.
But you pick up a thread, if you will, of something in that tone. Sorry, I just had to. It was great. It was a great word choice.
God damn it.
It's so good every time.
And it's like a sassiness of a kind or something. You don't know. That was pointed.
Yeah.
And more so, what I want to bring for you, and you do not have to do anything with this, is Tal notices this. Because up until now, I feel like Airfay has seen a few things throughout your conversations, but I don't know if Tal has really picked up on it, and it was just a little odd.
Mhm.
You have watched and interact with Ark many a time, and like, it's not just this time, but it just feels a little bit like they've been a little bit more on edge lately.
Yeah, after Airfay goes into her room and I see Hideaki close the door, or the door is closed, however it happens. Tal will swing their way down from the top of the Sprout House ceiling area. And will nervously approach Ark's door, because they're not quite sure. I think the first time, they're not quite sure how Ark is going to respond to talking. But they go up to the door and they knock a little softly.
Yes.
It's Tal. I know you said you were going to do work. But is it okay if I talk to you a little bit? I wanted to ask you some questions.
Sure, I'm just rereading things I already know.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Towel let out a silent breath that they had been holding.
Okay.
And will open the door. Has anything changed since Tal's been in here last? Which I think was the first time that they showed you the broom, I think.
Make a perception check.
Be
How many hero points do you
kind
have?
to me. I have 2,
Everyone
according
has 2 except
to
for Aerofay.
the thing.
Aerofay's got 1.
Okay. 22.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I would say, like, it's only because you came in here looking for something to change. There is like an extra book on his desk, and it's like a very small notebook, probably like, I'm trying to think, 6 by 4 inches.
Okay.
And then he has a study book on his bed, but like you assume that would go back
Yeah.
in his place when he's done.
Yeah. They'll come in and is Ark on the bed or the desk or
Ark-
not on the desk, but
Ark's standing on the desk. He
Oh,
taped
nice.
the study book to the ceiling, and he is just staring
Nice.
up. No, I'm just kidding.
nice.
He's sitting on the floor with his back to the bed, cross-legged.
Okay. Tal, I think would sit on the floor as well, not next to you, but also not like directly across from you, just kind of at like an angle, so you don't have to turn very far to see them, but they're not directly in front of you. And we'll sit there in silence for a little while. And
I think if the silence lasts longer than like 10 seconds, Ark will pipe up and say, "You had questions."
yes, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase them. Have you noticed anything different about yourself lately? In the past, I don't know, month or so?
You see him like eyes go up. He's like legit thinking. Only the expected difference of becoming better at everything I'm doing. Otherwise, no. Time and practice yield results, yes?
Sure. But I've been noticing, and there's been a couple of times where you've responded in very different ways, different than you had before. Earlier, when you left Aerofay and Hideaki, I was up in the rafters and heard. I don't know how to describe it, but you said the same words that you would always say, but you said it differently than you usually would, which struck me as interesting. And there was a couple of other times, now that I think about it, that maybe you said the things that you usually would, but you said them differently than you usually would.
He
Like-
looks legitly confused and says, "Could you explain it better?"
I will try. When you said just now, if you can recall, you said to Erefe and to Hideaki that you were going to come back and study because there was no need to heal anyone anymore.
Myself, yes. There was no need to heal myself.
Did you have a...
It's like staring at you
Is-
intently.
I think it's making it harder for Tal to come up with the right questions to ask. It sounded like sarcasm, which I don't know how to describe, or frustration, or these words that mean emotive things that are very hard for me to describe, and I'm trying to figure out ways to describe them. And the only reason that I bring this up is because it has happened similarly before in the market when we had a very large disagreement and an argument, and you hurt Erefe because of it.
I don't think I would hurt
And-
Erefe.
Whether you think so or not, you did. And
Thinking about it a little. You can keep talking.
why I bring this up is back at our first graduation ceremony, I was asked to help you learn emotions, to figure them out, to unlock whatever this was
By a teacher.
by... No. Well, I guess by your original teacher.
Iska spoke to you.
Mm-hmm. You were there for most of it. But
They were sent away. with
Tal
that
chose
request.
chose their phrasing. They were there for most of it.
Yeah.
Iska thought that it was something that you needed to learn, I guess. And I didn't like the way that she was talking about you, so I said that I would help.
Well, Iska usually knows best. And if you say I am providing emotive conversation, then am I not learning?
No. Because while you might be doing it, you have no idea what you're doing or what it means or anything like that. I don't know if that's learning. You don't know when you're doing anything that invokes emotion or emotive response. Also, you don't know when you're not doing it. I was there when you did your dancing. You physically danced, but there was no emotion in it. There was no art to it. And while you may have done it perfectly, there's a reason that you got the score that you did. And it's just because you don't understand. You can learn, but understanding it is something completely different. And it's hard for me to find ways to get to a point where I can describe it in a way that you might understand, which is why I'm kind of bringing it up now, because I don't want you to not know what you're doing and it hurts you or someone else again.
Do you think I'm smart?
I think you're very intelligent.
If it is hard for you to describe something for me to understand in words, then is it not a hard concept to describe, period?
Mm-hmm. It's... The reason it is hard to describe in words is, I think, because a lot of people don't need them to be described in words. Because it is a default for them. And so you can describe it by how you literally feel. And most people will say, oh, that's something I can relate to. But that's not... You've proven that that's not the case with everyone. And that's something that I need to remember.
The first time you ever did magic, did it come natural? Did someone need to explain it to you? Did you have to practice? Were you the best? What about walking? Crawling?
What a question about the magic to specifically ask Tal.
Yeah. My magic was something that came to me, and I did not ask for it, or I do not remember asking for it. And so I've always been able to use it.
Since a baby?
No, since I got it, which was frankly not that long ago, now that I think about it.
Sure, so the first time you used it, you were the best at it. No need for training.
Technically.
Is that why
I
you
didn't
were
have to learn
hurt
it.
after you cast a spell on Hadram? Abram? That seemed like an accident. If we went back to that exact moment now, would you do better?
I think so. I'd like to think so. But I'm also different now than I was then, so...
Exactly. Well, judging by the words you just told me, this is the first time I am experiencing this, ever. Now, let's take a small step back, and the first time you ever cast magic, if someone came in and attempted to control how you did it, would that be good?
No.
I think I am fine on my own.
Can I ask one more thing?
Sure.
I don't think that you need help learning about emotions or whatever it is that Iskad really wants you to learn. You're very capable at learning things at your own pace, however quickly you want to learn them. But if you don't understand what you're learning, could you ask me? And I can try to help.
If I feel it's necessary to ask you, I will.
Okay. Is it helpful if I let you know from an outside perspective if what you're...
If what I am doing is wrong.
No. What? No, not wrong.
Incorrect?
No. If you do something and it's different than usual, like tonight, or like the encounter in the market or anything like that. Observations, not critiques on your morality or anything like that, unless it's not critiques on you, just observations.
Will you be doing the same for RFA and Hideaki every time they stray from their norm?
I would like to.
Okay, then sure, you can do it for me, and I will join you and do it for them.
Okay. I think Tao will start to stand up and like stay crouched a little bit, like halfway up. You know, that's a bit what friends do. Well, maybe you don't. Let me rephrase that. That is a little bit what friendship is. People that you care about in whatever capacity. You're willing to let them know if they are acting differently. Doesn't have to be
act
bad.
differently?
No. But
Then why would you
sometimes
let them
people
know?
want, because sometimes people don't know that what they're doing. I think Tal sits back down. I think it is important for me to speak about myself. In this, I can't tell you how Arafe will want to be talked to. I can't tell you how Hideaki wants to be talked to. I would hope that there is some kind of norm that has been set about how I act and how I might respond to things, and if something doesn't fit to that norm, that is a little strange. I don't think it's up to us, if I saw something that Arafe was doing that I thought was strange, to say, what you're doing is strange. I could ask, why are you doing something different? Why are you doing this? What is your reasoning? And then hear them out, and I don't know. It's a lot more complicated than if I think about it more, it just gets more complicated. I understand now, in a way.
If I continuously did different things, would that not just become a part of me? So do you want to change who I am?
No. No, I don't.
Okay.
I think you're fine the way that you are.
You were acting strange when you first came in the room, but I didn't say anything.
Well, I'm glad that you noticed. And I was, because I was nervous.
Sure.
And Tal just kind of stops and looks and waits and gets a sure as an answer.
Nervous is normal for you.
Nervous is normal for me. You're right. Okay.
Should I go back to studying?
I will leave and let you go back to whatever it is you want to do. Thank you for listening and answering.
Sure.
And I will get up and we'll walk back to their room, very confused about the prospects of friendship and emotions.
Validly so. But nonetheless, I think, if perhaps not immediate developments, A lot of groundwork was set in that wonderful conversation. Good job, yeah. So, with this, we will do a smash cut to morning.
It's a smash cut.
That's what sunrise sounds like. Explosions.
In the Magaambya.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
yeah. smash cut.
The
You hear,
sun-
you hear peanut butter. No.
The sun comes up.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
So, morning comes, breakfast is had, and we will bring you all forward to probably cutting some classes or other, but heading morning-ish, early day out to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe after like the first class of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Optics. You know, optics.
Yeah, Tal does
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to learn. Tal has a laundry list of things that they need to learn.
Look, part
so-
of my grade is dependent on attendance.
Art
That
turned
10%
in all his
God.
papers for the rest of the week.
That sounds about right.
Damn.
Jeez.
Even the assignments that they hadn't gotten yet.
Yep. He stole it.
So we head into the city. Are all of you together heading to Niana's first?
Sure.
Ark will head with him, but he's not gonna go in. He's probably gonna stay outside and just like try to, as best as they can, like further the case. Like even if that's just looking around the city for shady things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you go.
No, one thing that I think, and I'll do it the next day because Tao may have remembered as we're walking. Tao would I think is used to kind of leading the way into the city because they're kind of comfortable with it, but would step back to Ark and ask, I noticed you had something different in your room yesterday. That you had a new book. And trying to say it like not loudly in case it's like a private thing for some reason.
Which book? And like the way he asked it is like, it's not important enough for him to know what the new book is.
Tao would describe where it was on the desk and like roughly the color of whatever the very small notebook looking book was.
Oh yes, that is a recent track of my achievements.
Oh. How many are in there?
Like 22, I believe. But they get pretty specific.
I think that's fair. What's your highest achievement so far then?
They're all the same.
Okay.
None is higher than the other. They're just an achievement. Just a step to the next.
Okay.
All right. So, who is going into the shop with
Oh.
Tal?
Me.
Of
Mm.
course.
Okay.
Oh,
I love this woman. So
Considering Ark's decision, it's too tantalizing. I'm gonna hang out with Ark too.
Oh yeah.
switch the convos.
All right. So, with that, who wants to start? What side do we want to start in?
Inside
Always?
the shop.
Inside the shop.
Split the
Yeah.
party.
We're all gonna die.
So, inside the shop, the little chime rings as you open the door, and you're greeted shortly after by a familiar face. Oh, you're here. Wonderful.
Hello.
Come, let me show you. And she ushers you in, and like she kind of takes you to the back with like you go past like the little counter and into like a little bit of a back area where you can see it's a little bit more of a workshop. And she goes and like walks you over to this little mid table that is cleared out a little bit. She like kind of quickly clears out a little bit, and she places a thing down with a like kind of cloth covering over it. It's about yay high. Yeah, like that. Yeah. She gestures.
Arafe, you've maybe seen Tao look this excited, like maybe once before, and it was at the other market after they came back with all of their new trinkets from a child. They are exceptionally excited. I don't think, because I don't think Tao told anybody what they were commissioning or that they had brought something here to be worked on. So I think before taking off the like little handkerchief blanket situation, Tao would turn to Arafe and would say, do you remember that that big piece of amber that we found under the library? That we didn't really... It just was in my bag, and I had honestly kind of forgot about it for a while. I brought it here, and then I look and like basically like ask for permission to take the thing off of it. And will unveil the beautiful thing, the beautiful piece of stuff.
Okay, so there is below. I'm trying to get all my words here. Hold on.
What is this thing again?
It's lovely, and
What
it's
is the
gorgeous,
thing
and it's
again?
pretty.
Okay, so it is partially blown glass, partially lined with like outlined almost with this sort of like golden metal. You can assume it's a gold or something kind of coated. The thing itself is in the shape of a vardo, a sort of a covered wagon. It is, that's the cover, kind of arched at the back, is clearly a blown glass piece, I can say words, that has stripes of color through, also clear, sort of like ribboning across the top. The little wagon wheels are daintily like the way she handled it, you can tell that it's sturdy, but they look so delicate. And little glass, almost like filling stained glass between the wagon wheel, like spokes, fill it in a colorful space. And it doesn't have any horse or anything attached, just kind of has a little front piece like that leans down. And through some of there's also a window on the side that is just clear glass. It's beautiful, colorful, ornate. And through the little glass window, you see this warm shine of an amber stone. And as you can start kind of leaning down to like peer through the window, she goes, I got a little help from a neighbor, a jeweler, for this contraption. And she reaches down and she opens it up. The top hinges open, and within is nested the beautiful amber piece that has been cut down and polished into like it just shines into like this warm interior. And so what I did earlier today, because I just went down a rabbit hole, is so I don't have, these are all things I've taken from the internet, so it's nothing I'm going to show live. It's just something that I'm going to use as references to the cast, so you can ooh and ah with me here. No. If I can copy paste. So the size of it is something like this in terms of how like the blown glass top is pulled out.
Ooh.
It's around that size.
Ooh.
However, Get ready for your first ooh. The amber inside is polished and looks basically like that.
If you think
So-
of, if you've seen Lord of the Rings and you've seen Sauron's eye, imagine that without it being an eye.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's
honestly.
it's
It
a very
looks like it's on
smooth stone.
fire.
Yeah, it's like a smooth stone with like a
Yes.
crackly inside that makes it look like it's a flame.
Now imagine the ornateness of like the gilded like lines that this has. Obviously to size and it's colorful glass between. And then it hinges open to reveal the amber inside.
Y'all.
It is delicate, it is beautiful, it is a work of art that both on its own stands to her testament of like glass talent, as well as highlighting the beauty of the amber. Oh, and she kind of leaves it open. The amber was so beautiful, and I didn't want to waste any of it. So she kind of goes over to like a different counter and pulls out, and you can see like a chain of something that comes out. This is so you have something on you as well. And she hands it out to you. And it is a necklace that has just at the end a wagon wheel, just a wagon wheel. It is beautiful, as once more there is little stained glass between the spokes of the wheel, and then nested in the center is another little small, like tiny chunk of amber with little dots surrounding it at each spoke, kind of utilizing extra little bits of amber into something that you can wear.
Wow. Thank you. And Tal is just like holding these two incredibly stunning things that are more incredible than they ever imagined. And is a little bit like stuck as they're just overwhelmed with how
The catfolk was too stunned to speak.
correct.
Cat got your tongue?
Oh!
But like after a little bit, they'll very gently put the Vardo back down and put the necklace on immediately, and just look at it and like run their finger over the spokes of the wagon wheel and the gem in the center. And there's just a very small smile that I think Arafe can tell is just a very soft, genuine smile that is reflected in their eyes and not just on their face. And she looks up and she says, This is everything. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to do it. Thank you. The stone was beautiful. I just made it shine.
Well, that takes skill within itself. These are gorgeous.
I'm glad. I was proud of it, I won't lie.
Is there a box or something I can carry this in? I don't want it to break on the
yes,
way.
Of course. And she'll like go
You
and
put
start
us in a
shuffling.
fight and we break this thing, I will be so
I'm
mad.
gonna cry, but it'll be so good.
And as she goes to kind of like shuffle, looking for some boxes and things like that, and she starts. It's kind of like a little thing where she goes and she's like, "Oh, I have this like it's like a little light, flimsy cardboard box." She's like, "Well, I want to." She like grabs something to like lay at the bottom, and just kind of going back and forth. And as she's doing this, she's just sort of talking. It was such a, and she just started talking about the process a little bit. She starts talking about like, "Oh, I really wanted it to shine, but I felt like if I covered it in the wagon, then it really wouldn't have that moment." And then I was like, what if it opens? And then I didn't really have the technique to do that, so I went over to a friend down the street just a little bit, and they have a wonderful jewelry shop, and they helped me kind of with the clasp and everything. And it's just it's kind of just talking and doing this. And she's like, although they did also mention Amechi, have you heard of anything going on recently? Again, as she's just doing other stuff, like has the school heard word of the infrastructure, the river down in the west? It's such a
There's
shame,
something with the
honestly.
river?
Just
happened to
in
the
one of the
river?
areas. What? A friend of ours. Well, I suppose more a friend of the neighbor, but I know them. Amechi. They are a wonderful potter, and they have a beautiful workshop. And honestly, Amechi is such a kind heart. It's almost more of a community center. He opens his doors to anyone that wants to try their hand at pottery. Oh, it's lovely. It's it's therapeutical, and it's also just a fun hobby. So, he operates out of basically a community center, and well, I believe that his neighbors have seen some infrastructure failing. The river's flooding, which is not yet the season for it. And I know he's been trying to get some help for it, but hasn't managed. So I was just wondering if word had gotten over to the Magaambya, because I know sometimes you all can help out with that.
Well, we haven't heard anything personally, but we can always ask around to see if someone knows about it and is working on it.
Well, if you,
Sure.
if you wouldn't mind, he's
Maybe
a
we
sweet
can
man.
stop there on our way back, just so that when we tell them what's going on, we have a better idea of what to tell them.
That'd be a good
Asking
idea.
to like saying it to Arafe, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Where did you say it was at again?
And she will give you directions.
Okay. I actually had a question for you also while we're here.
Oh, yes.
Knowing of all things jeweled, have you ever seen like a rainbow leopard type statue?
I'm more glass.
Oh, I pull out the sketch that I made because I made it.
She looks at it for a second. It's beautiful. Not particularly. I'm more glass oriented and less jewelry oriented, but I can ask around. Are you
That
looking
would-
to who made it, or?
We're actually looking for it.
Mm-hmm. It's changed hands unwillingly, and we're trying to reunite it with its owner. I can leave this with you though, if that's okay.
Yes, that perfect. I will get the word out. See if we can track it down for you, at least among the artisans.
Excellent.
It
Go ahead.
it might be connected with some folks who are less excited about and like looks over to Arafe, not quite sure how to say. There might be
It might have been in the hands of the underworld at one point.
yeah.
Oh,
So be
be
careful.
gentle about it then.
Yes.
Understood.
Just in case. Apparently, it might have been taken by someone called Habu. What was it? Habu
The Cudgel.
The Cudgel. Have you heard of them before?
No. She kind of gives this
Sounds-
sounds like a fancy name for a sad man.
It's just one of those. If we're looking for it, but because of the hands it's touched, just maybe be a little
I will be
careful.
careful.
I would be devastated if something happened.
Oh, sweetie. And she's just like, and she kind of like gives your cheek a pat. You are too sweet. But I can take care of myself. I appreciate it.
I don't doubt it.
And she kind of leans forward. Actually, it's more art, but you know.
Two powerhouses together is an extra powerhouse. It's fine.
Well, I hope, and she kind of like finishes putting the thing in the box carefully and closes it up. Like, this should be safe enough for travel. I hope it brings you warmth.
Thank you. And Tal will hold it so closely and gently.
All right, we're going to pause there and look outside of the shop because what I would like to know between Ark and Hideaki, are y'all just sort of like standing guard outside of the shop, or are you kind of like going to meander a little bit while these two are in the shop?
Ark is willing to meander a little bit, but not very far. Unless Hideaki goes far, and then he'll follow Hideaki.
So, Archer, here's what I'm thinking. I have a particular person in mind in which to search for, but I don't exactly have a great strategy in which to find them. Because last time that Tal and I found them, they sort of were headed off to wherever they live, I guess. So all we have is a name and a description. So,
You know their name.
based off of our success. Yeah, what was the name again? You said it earlier, sir. I forgot the name now.
Jaya.
Jaya, that's right. Jaya.
Do they like you?
I think they do.
What if you just yelled it really loud?
That did sort of work last time, but I think I want to be a bit more inconspicuous. I don't want to scare them or make them a target. After all, if we are after what I think I can at least fairly assume is some level of crime syndicate of some sorts, you calling them out by their name really loudly can make them feel both uncomfortable and also may make them not want to talk to us.
Okay. You could protect them, right?
I could. I can.
Okay. What is your plan then?
So, my plan is to head to where I saw them last and do a bit of a look around. Because I believe one of two things. One, they're trying to keep a low profile, and maybe they're just hanging around some areas that they hang out at on a regular basis. Or because I helped resolve a very large gambling debt that they had, and I recognize, though I hope it's not the case, that maybe they decided to give it another go, and so maybe we could find out somewhere where there's gambling and see if they're around. Or if they're not around, which is great because we don't want anyone to go back into gambling debt, maybe they know where they are.
Sure. I have gambled before.
Have you really?
Yes. Iska taught me.
When? Really? Where? How?
With Iska.
Oh, did you win?
Sometimes. It is a lot of luck and a lot of cheating.
Sure. Who was doing the cheating, you or Iska?
Both.
Or both? I think I've gained a little bit more respect for you right now.
We gambled rocks.
I bet you did.
As you are having this conversation, I'm imagining that you are beginning to kind of head in the direction of retracing your steps, which funnily enough, if I recall, you actually were at this store headed down when like you even met Jaya, so it kind of works out
I
perfectly.
think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you are beginning to kind of walk a little bit of ways, and probably maybe for now just up until the next like square or like gathering area, and like looking down different offshoots and things like that. So I would love you all to, the two of you, to make me perception checks.
I'm not good at these. Nat 20, 27.
I'm not good at these.
I'm not good at these.
Nat
Not 20.
Look, it's a plus 7 when a lot of my things are plus 13s, but
Yeah.
a nat 20 is a nat 20.
So I've utilized one of my hero points for this. I got a 25.
Okay. So you're having this kind of conversation as you begin to head downwards, and I'm trying to remember who this was initially.
Jaya.
No, when you all were first meandering through town to get to the trading bazaar,
Mm-hmm.
who were the two folk, I think it was two, unless it was all of you, that met Dio and the
That
Sounds
was
of Delight?
the other
was-
two.
Yeah, that was
That was
Arif
Ark
Ark
and
and
Arif.
Aerith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ark and Arafe, okay.
Yep.
So
yep.
Ark, with your natural 20, you spot Dio. Near that same kind of town, not I say town square, but like I'm imagining it, but like one of those open areas. With your nat 20, however, because you, I believe, fixed their instrument,
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
you see them there with a bandaged arm, kind of in a sling. No instrument that you can see of. Little stubble on his cheek, like he's like not doing that great. And just kind of sitting there. And one of his bandmates is kind of standing there with his instrument, trying to be like, come on, like you can see him clearly like trying to like cheer him up. And it strikes you as odd. And Hideaki, you do not recognize these people,
Yeah, certainly.
but you see that there's like something going on over there.
Yeah.
I don't see Jaya.
Yeah, not so far. Looks like somebody's arm is in a sling.
Oh yes, that's Dio.
Oh, you know them?
I fixed their instrument, which I don't see.
Oh, well, that might be a great icebreaker for us to start a conversation. And he hinders over there unless R2 stops him.
Ark starts to. He's like he gets to like, do you? And he was gonna say like, do you think this will help us find Jaya? But he doesn't. He doesn't get it out.
Oh man, sorry, reacting to gifs. Anyways, you head on over. Go ahead. Like, do you just kind of like?
I 100% announce my presence. Hello there. Sorry to be a bother. Was just curious. First of all, are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
They're not. Their arm is bandaged.
Yeah,
I agree.
it is. It sucks.
Where's your
my
instrument I
compatriot-
fixed for you?
Yep.
Stolen.
Oh
Kind of
no.
looking at the ground
You didn't stop it from being stolen.
I believe there was an attempt.
with his
And-
one
yeah.
good arm.
Yeah.
He points. Not like you fancy students. The magic. I have one thing. My love of music. Makes me solid money. Don't have that anymore. Anyway,
Well, these fancy students like to help people. So, who did the thing?
kind of like looks up at you for the first time, and one of his like bandmates is just like, there you go. Maybe they could help. And he kind of shoots him a look like, maybe. I don't know. They like to come from like alleyways and dark areas. We don't really get. No one I've talked to has seen
you
their
were
face.
ambushed.
I'm not the only one. It's been happening to buskers all around.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Sorry, I recognize that sounds really weird to be excited about that. Here's the thing. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not just a good Samaritan. I'm actually my compatriot R2 and I, who you've apparently met, and he helped fix that instrument that you're now missing. We're actually looking to find a mutual acquaintance. Not mutual, an acquaintance of mine that you may or may not know by the name of Jaya. Any idea who that might be?
Kind of looks over at his friend. No.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. But we're also kind of looking into some sort of what we believe to be some sort of crime syndicate. So I wonder if maybe is this like a new thing? Like, is this always been a problem in Natambu, or is this like a?
No. I mean,
Mm,
maybe on the occasion, but this is ridiculous.
Sure,
This is
sure,
like,
sure.
I mean, let's see. And he starts like counting on one hand. I mean, there was like Dennis last week. There was, I mean, like literally the other 2 days ago happened to.
Really?
Yeah, like, and he's just kind of mumbling to himself, and like the names being less important. I don't want to think of a bunch of names. And is like kind of listening, and it's like, no, it's been happening more than it should. I don't know what's going on, but we tried to talk to the chime ringers, and it's typical politics. But if you're looking for more info, maybe I'm sure they have some reports that could shed some light, because I know I'm not the only one, but they haven't really been doing anything.
Do you know if it's like in a particular area? Like, this
Kinda
street's
gestures.
always the worst.
Would they do it here, in front of a bunch of people in a square, or is it always when you're walking down roads and alleys?
As you begin to kind of question in more detail, I would like some checks here, and that could be diplomacy, I think.
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn another hero point.
I'll burn a hero point too, because I have 2. Why not?
Sure.
7.
The one that
7.
I earned. Fortunately, dirty 30, baby.
Amazing. Okay, so kind of Arc 2's like pressing of these things that were like, do they happen in broad daylight or whatever? And he's like, no, I told you, it's like, it's always at the end. I'm like, and then kind of Hideaki coming in with like assuaging the questioning and helping out.
Arc 2's like, is it your fault for not staying around people all the time?
Yes.
It's
and
certainly
Hideaki,
not his fault. He is a victim.
you have to do the work to like help this out. You are absolutely putting it in.
Yeah.
Yes. And so
much.
you're basically like, with that, he's like, no, you find out that basically like they usually kind of just wait they do only like the end of the day when we have the most money on us from a successful day. I mean, but still not that much, but like, and then one other piece of information is additionally that he saw 4 people specifically when they got him, and he swear he saw a tail on one of them, so he's not exactly sure
What kind of tail?
A tail
Go
like
for it, too.
an anthropomorphic tail, or a tail like somebody was following them?
Great follow-up.
no
question.
anthropomorphic
Okay.
tail. Basically trying to say that like he definitely thinks that like 2, I mean, they looked like humanoid or human or elephant, like something humanoid, 2 of them, but one of them definitely wasn't. He saw like a more reptilian tail.
And like he was about to like show like use one of his tails as like a like, was it furry or not?
Yeah,
and then you're like, okay, fair enough. Okay, well, this was really helpful. We are going to look into this for you.
Can you play an instrument, Hideaki?
No,
Can you pretend to
But
play
I
an
can
instrument, Hideaki?
I abso-fucking-lutely can.
Could I have your instrument for 2 gold? It is worth less.
To the other one.
Yeah, to the other person.
And he's like, looks incredibly offended, and I'm gonna carry over your 7 diplomacy. No.
3 gold.
It is not for sale. Thank you. And then he kind of like takes the elbow of Dio. Let's go.
I'll give it
Get
back.
you-
Hold on. Just before you go, I think I'm picking up what my compatriot is putting down, because we, us fancy-looking students, can become really good decoys with really fascinating instruments.
Look, this is my livelihood.
I would
Okay.
like to be attacked.
I would also like to be attacked. But perhaps we just, pretend to have a lot of gold. Do a little clinkety clink really
you have
loudly.
Do you have a loner instrument? Like something that you
Or
don't
a
play
backup?
anymore? Yeah, a backup.
Kind of like they're looking at each other.
4 gold. Anytime the prices increase, people usually say yes.
He's right.
I'm also playing off my 7 diplomas.
All right. Yeah, I could. Any instrument, right?
Not for 4 gold. That one's for 4. I'll pay 2 for any other.
You'll give it back?
If I do I get my money back?
No.
Half of it.
Like
I get
Kiriaki
one-
is impressed with like R2's like up down negotiation. Like he's just letting it fly now at this
I get
point.
1 gold back if I give the instrument back unbroken.
Okay.
Okay.
None if it's broken.
No, you can have it if it's broken. It'll probably
Yes,
be broken. I likely will hit someone with it.
I'm sure we can work
Don't
out a
tell me
way
that.
to get it
Oh, okay.
mended. I'm sure we've got ways, and these fancy magical students after all. So, thank you for this information. We will bid you farewell because me and my compatriot are about to go get ambushed. So hopefully we'll see you soon.
And with that, we'll go to break. Welcome back. So, last we left off, someone wanted to get slapped in the face, right?
It was
That's
me.
what
Sure.
I heard.
It's
It was
plot twist.
me. It was me all
Everyone.
along. So, we come back to, let's do that beautiful simulcast timing as Taliatia, followed by Airfay, ding ding ding, exit the shop with a bundle in hand as Hideaki and Ark turn to each other a street and a half down a ways with that, it's not Scooby-Doo, is it? Like, are you thinking what I'm thinking moment? And we come back in. So let's go back to the two exiting the shop. You exit, Hideaki and Ark are now where to be seen, but that is not totally unexpected because they were going to be wandering about.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
Tal is looking excited and has a new necklace on as they
Mhm.
exit the shop.
It really is quite beautiful.
Thank you. And is quickly making their way over to where they can
Would you-
spot.
Would you like me to put that in the bag of holding so nothing happens to it?
That's really smart.
In a want to-
That's the
in a
DMG. I'm like, oh yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hey, if it wasn't going in the bag, I have a chest that I've never used.
That's true.
True.
I will use it for this one thing.
Mhm. Not a bad
Um,
idea.
Yes, you're kind
I-
of going
I-
down and trying to spot them.
Yeah.
Ark, Hideaki, what are y'all doing?
Probably not being quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're.
Then I'll say,
I think like maybe they catch this. I don't know. But it's like
I have
they're
good ears.
Yeah, they're gonna hate this. They're probably gonna hate this.
It's the
It's a
best
really good
plan.
idea though. It is. I know. Right. Exactly. Like I think it's the best case scenario. Though it will hurt and that will suck probably maybe. But we've been through worse, right?
Well,
know.
if you remember your training, it won't hurt as much.
Be a little bit more specific. Which training?
Mine.
Training in the morning? Yeah. Totally. Yep. Yeah.
you hear, yeah, totally. Like a little bit of ways away, Tal with your ears, as Erica,
The
you
ears go
claw-
that direction.
yeah, very clearly,
head
and then
follows.
like as you kind of follow that Erica, you also see just kind of like walking off the opposite direction, you recognize vaguely, like really quickly, Dio. Yeah. Was that
You found him. Dio? As we approach the other two.
Yes.
Who?
He got his arm hurt in his... the thing I fixed stolen. The instrument.
I'm gonna say it was a violin. I don't remember.
Great.
His violute.
Violute. Yes.
So, we didn't exactly find who we were looking for, but we might have a bit of a lead, maybe. Because if we uncover who stole what's her name again? I'm sorry. I keep thinking Dio now because of that damn anime.
It is
Dio.
Dio.
It is
but
Dio.
that's ironic.
That's-
See, this is what
that's why
happened.
the
That's
I'm
why.
like,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Anyway, because apparently these types of ambushes are becoming a bit common now as of the last several days at least.
So we're gonna get attacked.
So
What?
On purpose?
yeah, okay, stay with me. Yep. Because that would lowest common denominator. That's not the right word. It's the quickest way to get from point A to point B. And if we figure out who's behind all of this, then it's probably tied to everything else. That's the hope, anyway.
And one of them have a tail.
Yep, reptilian-ish, maybe.
Okay.
That's why we have this. And Ark
Okay.
holds up a instrument.
I'm a bit surprised. I was expecting some resistance.
Do you know how to play that?
Nope.
No.
You tell?
But I'm gonna pretend unless you want to pretend or know how to.
Don't have to pretend.
I'm gonna say Erica goes, I wonder if one of us can play this, and just gestures to all of Tau.
Well, I mean, I don't want. I'm not making assumptions. I'm just
You've
like
seen me play the instrument before.
this particular instrument.
Well, no.
Okay.
Violute.
We can
I
provide
played something very similar, though. I could figure it out pretty quick.
We can
Again,
pretend
I'm
to
not
be
trying to assume. I'm trying to do better about that. Remember?
we can pretend to be street performers, and
Okay.
Art can be our dancer.
Whew. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get targeted for that just on insult alone.
Absolutely.
As Erica just giggles.
And then he looks at R2 like shocked that he's again agreeing with him. What is going on?
Do Arafe and Tal talk about?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I was about to get there.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I think literally the next part of the conversation, like once this calmed down a little, Ark was gonna say,
Yeah.
"Did you figure out anything?"
Kind of, a little bit.
Something new.
Right, which might be. There's an issue with one of the rivers leading into Natambu that's
Really?
flooding abnormally soon, and there might be some strangeness. We don't know if there is, or if there's maybe just a broken
Said there's
Dam or
something wrong with the
something?
Dam thing?
infrastructure.
infrastructure. Right.
Sure.
But she was wondering if, the Magaambya knew about it, was going to do anything, but we might as well take a look while we're here. Also,
Sure,
we
gather some
gave
intel.
her the drawing of the jaguar statue, or the leopard statue, and she's going to look into it carefully.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Does your necklace
Look
do
at
anything?
us. Oh.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just it's supposed to and Tao will like hand the box to Arafe and then open it and pull out very carefully out of all of the like padding and everything the Vardo. It's kind of reminiscent of this.
Hideaki closes this immediately and is just like
Does that do
just
anything?
looking at it intently. That's
Well,
cool.
it does kind of, and Tao will open it up.
Ah! I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either, honestly.
Nothing useful?
Well, nothing practical. And we'll close it. My family, the circus, there was a a lot of these kinds of carts that we lived in, and
Cool.
I just wanted to have a little memory of home.
Yeah, like an
And-
emblem.
And you paid for it.
Yeah, a keepsake.
Sure.
Kind of. You remember that large piece of amber that we found under the library when we met
that would have
Benji?
been worth a lot of money.
It would have been, but it was in my backpack for a couple of weeks, and no one said anything about it, and so I just
Sure.
turned it into something
Priceless.
still valuable.
Unpractical.
If you think that well, it is still valuable if we ever need to have a lot of money for whatever reason, but I feel like we've never had an issue for money.
Yeah, money's money. Who cares about money anyway?
Ark is definitely not liking this, but with the multiple talkings, he will quiet down.
Arafe, can you just meanwhile make me a perception check?
Oh no, I don't like that.
Yes, I can.
The ambush is finding us.
That is a 27.
The GM gave me something very shiny and expensive and then told us people are stealing shiny and expensive things.
Mm-hmm.
For the audio listeners, I'm glaring.
Okay, thank you.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. No.
Don't worry.
No.
No, I don't
No,
want
listen.
it. We're going home. We're going home now.
Should we check
Tao,
out the water
put it away.
because we won't get attacked until night?
Sure. And we're near the water
think so.
anyway, right?
Yeah, we can just take
Not
a
quite.
slightly longer route home. Tala's putting the Vardo back in the box and isn't looking it compared to the first time that they purchased things that they really, really enjoyed
Yeah.
and got a little bit admonished about it.
Mhm.
They don't feel as like upsetty spaghetti at Ark's comments
Yeah.
this time.
Nice.
So just for
Get
an insight into Ark's mind currently, because he didn't get to say it. Currently, they are thinking. And don't kill me. This is not Waffles. This is Ark. Currently, Ark is thinking that
Waffles hates you.
Tao, RFA, and Hideaki continue to get hurt and subpar perform in combat. So their gold should only go to combat items.
Makes sense.
Optimization. So I did bring you all, I believe, let me know if you don't see it, to the Natambu map again.
We did.
So we here have, oh, actually, I can show you one more thing as well. Look at us.
The house.
Toku.
So
House.
I have placed a couple more things on here for you. So we have Teacher Ott's house that we already had, which is where you are, which is not far from Toku's home. So you're kind of around this area. Amechi's pottery shop is all the way in the outer ring on the top right. If you recall.
Oh. I thought they
And I
said
also
the
put-
west.
I did. I said it, and then I kind of like mumbled to myself, and I was like, I'm not gonna say because I don't remember. My bad.
That's fine. I'll just edit my note.
Yeah,
It's on the
that's
rural
why I was like,
side
you
of
know
the
what?
city.
Oh no, I
Let's
just.
go.
Oh, that is the west. Yes, we'll just
You're kind of in the inner west ring, and then I also put Kalembi's Manor, which is up
Yep.
at the top there.
We
Sure.
have done
Nice.
some distance in the
We-
past couple days.
yeah. We have. We done some walking. Goddamn steps in, yo.
love it.
Question, GM. Where was I guess I suppose we're in the overarching. We're right near Teacher Ott's house right now, right? So
Yeah.
like I was trying to make sure
I'll
I
say
understood
there's
the
like
distance
a-
between where the boat dropped Talai off and this area.
So you went, the boat dropped you off close to Sharrowsmith's export near
Okay,
the
great.
south.
Got it. Okay, cool.
All right, so, you are. So was that a decision to go to the pottery shop?
Water.
Yeah.
So,
Let's head that
It might
way.
be faster to take the canals, actually.
Yeah,
It
sure.
almost always is. That's the main mode of travel here.
I'll walk.
Yeah. let's do
Airfay is
that.
going to look at Ark.
I'll meet you there.
Do you not like boats, Ark?
I think I explained
Or
this last
water?
time. It
I
is
don't
not a.
remember.
It is not
Airfay
a-
probably would remember. Hard is not.
Yeah, it is. It is not a great place to be if one were to get attacked. You cannot go anywhere.
Ark, do you always think people are going to attack us? Or
No,
you?
I don't think of it because I planned for it.
Do you ever plan
That
for
kinda makes
there
sense.
not to be an attack on you?
No,
Is that not exhausting?
no.
All right, to the boat.
Airfay's gonna
Ark
take a
walking?
boat this. Airfay's gonna take a boat this time because she didn't
Yeah.
last time.
Ark will
Also-
jog at a leisurely pace to like make sure he reaches it in time for them.
I will also say, Waffles says, "Oh, I'm always prepared to get attacked." I'm like, "Welcome to anxiety disorder."
LOL.
Ah,
Too real.
Too real, Waffles. Too real.
Representation.
At least listen, to be fair, we are always in fight or flight, us anxiety beings. But for Ark, he does get attacked a couple of those times, so it's a little
That's
bit more.
I mean,
true.
look, to be fair, I also have generalized anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
My autism
That's-
usually overrides it.
See, me, Jacob, I just want to fight all the time, Not out of anger, just because, like,
And
look
that
at-
gives me anxiety.
Full
Fair enough.
circle. All right, to the pottery shop.
To the pottery shop.
So the three of you take a boat over to the pottery shop. I take like 2 silver for the 3 of you. I don't remember. I don't know if that's ridiculous or not. But 1 silver. I
It's
don't
like
know. I don't
It's
know
a-
money.
It's a,
Okay.
it's,
1 silver. Got it. I don't ever touch
Math.
copper. I'm just like, I refuse to use copper.
It's a bigger boat. It takes 3 people.
we got a
We
suite.
picked
That's
a
what happened.
fancier one. This one's got a canopy. It's hot out
We
today.
got a
God.
cocktail.
Exactly.
got a
Ark say
cocktail.
jump.
Dude, there's
He
a
left a
cocktail. I'm
tip.
dying.
Get little snackies. It's great. So y'all head
Little
over.
benefits.
And what I will say is you probably head over into the inner ring, and get dropped off and kind of cross in, towards the other side because you would assume that it's the more direct route. But meanwhile, we have a jogging Arc too, trying to catch up. I will say, even with the jog, it's just more distance to cover. So you'll probably get there a little bit later. So like not much, but like maybe 20 minutes, or something like that. So
Then I'll sprint. I'm just kidding.
Nice.
okay.
For
like you could.
logistics' sake, I just want to ask: is Tal putting their box into the bag of holding or into the chest?
Yeah, they just wanted to show it off
That's
before
fair.
they did that. Yeah,
It's just I feel like we would have put that away knowing that we're not going
Yeah.
back.
yeah.
So I will
So-
pop that in the bag of holding.
So 3 of you split off, and head down to the docks as Arc 2 begins a jog. As you do, Arafay, you notice just like you know how like what I've seen in some other pictures, right? It's hard to see in the Magaambya or the Natambu map, but there's these like sheer like walls that kind of with stairs that lead down to the water level. Usually it's kind of all built above it, right? So as
Mhm.
you're headed down to like the little dock areas to get in, you think that Arc like is waiting at the top for y'all to leave. And you kind of glance up as you all kind of get into the boat, and you see like someone with like a hooded figure kind of like duck away, and you're like, oh no, Arc already left. And y'all head over.
I'm going to shift my bag of holding from my side to the front.
I know that move.
Ah, we're
I'm
on the
gonna
New York
go
City
ahead and
subway.
put my
Got it.
passport bag underneath my shirt.
Yes.
Yep. I know this feeling very well.
My
yes.
wallet is now in my front pocket.
Right? Exactly.
I have
and
put
you head
my
on over.
purse strap over my shoulder so it crosses my body.
Do you wait for Arc to join you before you kind of go towards the shop itself, or you guys want to head over?
Tal would wait
Yeah.
at least.
Yep.
Sure.
So you guys catch up eventually, and you can head on over. As you do, you kind of, as you approach the instructions that Niana had given you, which you've gotten used to kind of navigating around the city now pretty well. So you're like, okay, this quadrant, and then you just have to kind of like, you figured out how usually the numbering goes. It's not always great. Immediately kind of from as you kind of walk almost like down the street, you see that there's like one of the shops or houses or buildings there is there, and then the two kind of next to it have sort of like crumbled in a little bit, and you look past it and you see that some of the infrastructure of the canal's retaining wall has collapsed in like this little kind of cracked areas. So you quite easily pinpoint Amechi's shop, which is the one standing one left still, as the two next to it have collapsed. It's modest, square-roofed clay building, slightly on a slant. And you could tell that it looks like this one isn't long for joining the two next to it, as it seems to kind of be precariously starting to slant.
Mm.
Do you think there's anybody in there, considering this thing's about to go?
I mean, probably.
We were told Amechi was still here. He's the one that owns the pottery shop.
Would anybody like to do like a brief survival check as like an overview of the more...
Sure.
Yeah.
Could I do a
Yeah.
crafting check? For the wall.
What are you gonna craft?
specifically?
Pottery?
No. For the like almost like an engineering check for the wall.
Yeah, sure.
25.
15.
23.
So from this angle,
18. Sorry.
18, thank you. From this angle arc, like you're not really getting, like you're on the like you're on the opposite side from the canal. So from this side, as the retaining wall is like downwards, you're not really seeing all that much that will help you from a crafting perspective, from engineering perspective.
My natural 2 did not help.
No, unfortunately. But for Hideaki and what did you get, AFA?
23.
23. So both of the two of you kind of just looking at the state that this is in. It is not going to last very long. You think that maybe it has like 2 days left before the foundation's gonna buckle on this house as well. That's kind of your rough estimate. And you guys approach?
Yep. I'll knock on the door.
Even like the stairs leading up to it like kind of creak, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't.
I should just go.
I cast Mage Hand because I can do that for free.
Okay.
And
so
we'll
you
knock using that.
Yeah. It kind of like resounds, and then like it's quiet. And then all of a sudden, from like a little bit down below, you see like a head pop up from like where the retaining wall is collapsed, but there's like some guy who's just kind of like climbing up there. This person is covered in dried clay. His upper body is more dry, but then like he has wet mud on his legs and feet. And he's kind of like looking up at y'all, and he's just like, thank goodness you've come. I can't work like this.
Are you okay? I'll go
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
Make sure they're not
Yes.
stuck.
And you look down and you see like a couple of other folks there that are like down in the mud. Like the canal is definitely like flooded over in this little area, and the retaining wall has kind of collapsed. But like they're trying to like. There's a couple people there, like they're discussing. They're all like covered in mud. They're trying to do what they can, and it's clear that they're not really sure what to do. They're just like, this person who you're not sure exactly who he is, but you can assume it might be Amechi. And he's just like, you can probably tell we're artists in this area, not engineers. That means my neighbors and I were not much help to counteract this. Trying to get help from Magistrate Mayor Asanda. Infrastructure's his responsibility, but I guess he's too busy. So we don't have the money to just hire a bunch of people. So I was trying to send help to the school. You're from the school, right?
Yeah, which magistrate did you say was in charge of making sure this
Infrastructure?
doesn't happen? Yeah.
Asanda.
We've met them.
I was gonna say, isn't this the person
Isn't that the
we
one that I
talked to
got
when
the
we?
thing from?
Yes,
Yep.
it is. Yes. What did we get from them again?
We got the,
The
trunk,
chest.
the one
Yeah.
that I talked about.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
liked your
when-
performance.
when
You
we
met
were doing the
he didn't meet him.
performance,
He was across
Yeah.
the river, and he
right.
watched
Yeah.
y'all perform.
Yeah, Magistrate Carne Asada. You got it.
Got him.
Damn it!
Delicious.
Well played. That's amazing.
That's his name from now on, just for the record.
Hey,
Carne
uh,
Do we
Asada.
wanna-
I'm gonna remember.
well, look,
Carne
if,
Asada.
if he just joined Tal's carnival, then he'll be Carne Asada.
Oh, deep cut. Good lord. Ouch. Okay, so
And with that, I have
Yeah.
to leave.
yeah, right. That's roll credits.
Then
That's right,
I'm
I'll stay.
done.
I'll stay. Continue.
So is this like an immediate, like, we need to help hold this up? Like, what can we do to help you out here?
He looks at you like, I'm not an engineer.
Then you
Um,
should
You're
leave.
good with this kind of stuff.
This is my livelihood. I'm not leaving.
Well, yes, I can probably fix it, but that won't change the amount of water in the building.
Can I see how fast, like, it's like the water's like rising? Like how much time do we
Yeah,
have here?
it's so this has been up, and it's more so. The river is flooding up more than it should, but it's not reaching up. So like if I don't have it in front of me, but I've shown you
Yeah.
like a sort of side view picture of the Magaambya. These are
Yeah.
high canal walls.
Hot. Yeah.
So it's more so that like something has happened at the bottom, closer to where the river is like flooding, or something is going on down
and it's
there.
like cutting away, and it's like making
And
it
the
like collapse.
like the retaining wall crumbled sideways, and these buildings that were up on top are starting to kind of slide in. Yeah.
So the water
you-
isn't
with your
necessarily
checks,
like
It's
the water's not
rushing.
necessarily like super surging or
Right.
anything like that. It's the things that the buildings were on. Something happened under there, and the buildings are wah, wah.
Yeah.
That was the motion of them
The-
sliding.
the
over
walls
everyone.
kind of
That's the sound
crumbling in.
effects.
Okay,
Wah, wah.
hear me out, and please just tell me to shut up if I'm going to
Never.
engineering for this
Never.
GM.
This is why we. This is why we hired you.
I would
Yep,
assume
for
the
your own show.
Magaambya is built almost like a cone, so the center doesn't flood. So everything on the as far outer as you go, everything should be a little lower.
Not necessarily. Would it help you all if I found that picture to show you just how like high these retaining walls are?
Kinda. My specific question is like, is the river on the first circle lower than the second circle? Or higher?
No. They're about the same.
Okay.
I wonder
Water
if the
levels
city is
equal out.
more like
Gotcha.
slightly slanted, like the eastern side is slightly higher than the western side because the western side's closer to like the seashore,
Sure.
so that the water has a natural way of draining.
All right, so
maybe-
my plan was to just siphon all the water out.
And just suck it all up, move it
Well,
somewhere
well,
else.
if you-
Drink it.
What? No,
One
that's
unit
not,
of water.
that's not what siphon means. If you start a siphon with unequal pressures on both sides, it continues to run forever.
Waffles.
What?
Don't make. I'm not an engineer. I don't. Use magic.
I believe
Use
in
magic to fix
I don't
it.
have any water magic.
Use magic. Use your water bending magic.
Look, that's why sucking starts the siphon correctly because it makes a
Giggity.
vacuum.
You
Okay,
heard it
I'm
here,
done.
folks.
I'm done.
You heard it here. You heard it here, everybody. You gotta
Yep.
suck to get it better.
Suck to move liquids, please.
So, given
Oh my
this,
God.
the your point, GM Badass, around like something underneath is amiss. I'm gonna say out loud. Don't be scared. He is totally on our side, but just bear with me, folks. And I'm gonna summon over Noza.
Yeah, make over nose get muddy.
So, my dear friend, literally kind of need to get our hands dirty. We need to do something we haven't done before. Something that has been personally on my bucket list of things to do. And
You in the mud.
I'm
Mud
His
wrestling?
bucket list is mud wrestling. Yeah,
Hideaki over Noza.
yeah.
Mud
Go
wrestling?
roll initiative, Syrup. No.
Sheesh.
I'll take that, Ben.
And
Ignacy
as you
Johnson.
know, like when he's like, "Oh, can I cut in?" As you know, when Overnose is summoned, like an octogram, like a golden octogram appears on Hideaki's eyes, and he sort of like his voice sort of like deepens for a moment, and he just says, "A sign of things to come." And I'm going to use Evolution Surge. And you see his eyes, the octogram begins to spin. And a couple things happen. Because you see that their connection between them, that sort of golden starlight sort of deepen into this like purple gossamer. And he gains the ability to breathe underwater.
Oh.
He gains a swim speed of 30 feet. Actually, so because you gain an additional 20-foot status bonus to its speed, so it's actually I think 50. And you see Overnoza grow, double in size
Amazing.
to large size.
I have a question.
Enough. Yep.
This is a rules question.
Yep.
'Cause I
Okay.
don't know much about summoners. Will
Yep.
it always be this, or when you cast a spell, do you get to pick like 2 more things that all Eidolons can have? Like, will
So,
it
like,
always be
there's-
swimming and water breathing?
Yeah, in this case, depending on when it's heightened, because there's a list of things that it does, and then a list of heightened third and a list of heightened fifth.
Mhm.
And because I think I can only heighten, because I only heighten third right now, because I can only cast third level spells.
Yep.
So
it says choose one of the following effects.
add the following options to the list of effects you can choose. In the first one, okay, cool. In that case, breathe underwater, just to give us
Cool.
time to do stuff. But and then I guess this is still a choice, but I'm going to choose large size because I think that's fun.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. And also increases his reach to 10 feet, which is awesome. And then the sort of spin sort of stops, and his eyes go blank as I'm going to see through Overnoza.
Okay. And you're gonna set him down?
Yep. Set him down under the water.
Erica is going
do-
to assist in this if possible.
Yes.
She's going to first take off the bag of holding because there's something expensive in it and give it to Tao and just say, keep a close eye. There may be people. I'm going to go down to the side of the water. I wanted to just in case I accidentally fall in or something happens and I don't want to break it. And I am going to use Clever Shadow and have Rin stretch down to take a look.
Ooh, amazing. Okay, now does Clever Shadow mean that like they can like perceive, or is it more just like handling things?
Let me pull it up for specifics. Can perform simple interact actions with my shadow. Oh, it's interact. Must be within my reach. So maybe okay, never mind.
I like this though. So what I'm gonna say is, if you want to use this as a help action to Overnoza,
Yes, yes.
that still makes sense. So you kind of, and you could because the way it's sloped and there is like some crumbling like wall, like you get down there dangerously. You stay out of the water, but you'll definitely kind of like get down a little bit closer and stretch your shadow out to help Overnosa take a look at things. So, Ken, as either you or Overnosa or however that works, what exactly, like, what are you looking for?
Sort of the initial cause of all this.
Sure.
Is it's so weird. Like my like growing up in my folks in New Orleans and like Hurricane Katrina, I'm like the levees. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out a cause of this specifically, and buy myself time by making Overnosa breathe underwater.
Mm-hmm. All right. Make me a like. What should we do? Nature check. It's hard when you're like, what check do you want to make for this thing?
Yeah, I was like perception. Sure, nature. Oh, okay. That's
Well,
a 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
You will get a +2 to that because I rolled a 27.
Nice.
Ooh.
23.
Okay.
I think that's how assist, right? It's +2 to the
Yes.
as long as it's successful.
Yes. For us.
Yeah. It depends when we're changing rules, but it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be +1. We do +2.
Yeah, you look around. The foundations there are like where the water level kind of rushed up and like did a little bit of damage, you could see, and it's like crumbling. Looks like flooding has like done something to the supports, and you don't spawn anything, unfortunately. Now with that roll.
Oh, I don't like that at all. Fun. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything other than the damage. But perhaps we could sort of, because it's wood, right? I'm looking at
A mix of like stone
so,
and wooden supports.
interesting. Would I be able to put together with like if we gathered some more materials and utilize something like I don't know, fire or something to be able to kind of merge some of this stuff together? Like, would that help buy us some not time, but like help fix this?
Merge. Say it again. Merge.
Yeah, like I essentially I'm trying to do chemistry with like different like pieces of wooden material and like fix this thing. I'm essentially trying to create a metal/wood band-aid.
Gotcha. Off the top of your head, you don't really know how to do that. However, there is an entire library of magical learning at your disposal, which you can do some research in. But that would take some time, and this is a little bit of a race against time. Plus, you have plans tonight to get murdered. So
You sure do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get slapped. Oh, I got ahead of myself. So
with daggers.
So I think at this point, like you all recognize that this is a little bit of a bigger deal, and it is a race against time, as well as other plans. So please go. Like, let's jump back in and discuss this out.
Yeah, and so Hideko will essentially share all the things that he sees. Is there to get time to go back to school and see if we can gather some of these things, or maybe there's some things we can buy here?
And your check did say earlier, remember, you feel like it has about like 2 days left.
Yeah. Oh, in that case, scratch all that. We've got a bit of time, but not a lot. We've got maybe 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
We should definitely let the school know, though.
Sure.
Because I'm sure that they have a lot more supplies and knowledge about how to fix something like this.
Also, if Sandra is in charge of it, we could also pay them a visit.
To be fair, though, if
He's
they've
gonna
not,
be busy.
Yeah, if they're not interested in doing something already, I doubt that additional piece of information will be an escalation point. Yeah, R2?
GM.
Oh.
Can I make an Arcana check, and/or can you tell me if Ark knows of the spell Wall of Stone?
Knows of it.
Knows of it, like in the world. He can't cast it. I'm pretty sure it's like a 5th level spell. But...
Make an Arcana check. I like that.
27.
We're rolling pretty well tonight.
Yeah. I think you've heard of sort of like the ability to shape stone.
Okay. Then Ark will pipe up and just mostly out of wanting to be able to help because he hasn't helped up to this point. I do know there are some spells that can shape stone or create more. If we could find a wand or a scroll, maybe.
Yep.
And you hear him like mumbling about Asanda, like to one of the guys or something like that. And you overhear it is like, he has plenty of help for his flooded mansion and whatever.
His
Can't
mansion's
secure any
flooded?
of
It's flooded over there too?
those. He's got help rebuilding that.
Oh, by the way, I'm already like back and like Overnoses back
Yes.
as well, just so you know.
Rin is giving me a little bit of grief about sending her into the water.
Overnoses never forgave me for the chickens, so this is all just part of
It's
the
true.
course. It's not a big deal.
So, would you like us to go yell at them in their mansion?
I don't know. I mean, I would like you to help make
Of
sure
course.
this doesn't fall.
Yeah.
If
We could
that's a way
always
to-
yell at the mayor, but we have a timetable here, certainly.
Well,
We can
Right.
yell at them after.
They likely have a timetable too.
Which is
For
why
what?
we should go and tell the school so that more people can come and help keep this from happening.
Sure.
Yes. But if we were
Yeah,
going
we
to
should-
help one, we should help the more important person.
Arafa's eyes jot between Ark and these
Maybe-
people.
Maybe we should help the one who can't afford to replace their building if it collapses.
Right.
Pointing to the shop.
Will Smith meme.
Yeah.
Arc
I think the mayor, the magistrate, there it is.
Magistrate
Probably
mayor.
probably can replace their own house if it disappears.
Yeah. It's a mansion after all. I'm sure they've got, it's like maybe they lost the first floor, but there's like 15 other floors, so like maybe they don't really give a shit that much.
The magistrate's livelihood is not at stake if he loses his mansion.
That's
Just
fair.
a comfortable place to sleep.
Okay.
And have pretty things.
That is my opinion, at least. But
agree.
regardless, we need to go tell someone who has a bit of influence and money and everything.
All right. Cool.
Ah.
So with
Go ahead.
he'll
go
look at okay. He'll look at the person they've been talking to. So we'll be back. Don't fret. There's a promise.
Thank you. What are your names? Like, what do you?
I'm Hideaki.
Yeah.
Arafa.
Just so you don't forget. Ezuko.
Business
One
card
name.
for hand gliding.
It says one name.
We're
It
also,
says two technically, and one of them
Technically.
is not here.
one of them's very small. The writing, not the person.
Hideaki and Habram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would
yeah.
do some shit like that, actually. That's so
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, We're also kind of known as the Outcasts now, if that is easier to remember than 4 names.
You see him kind of have a look of relief, like as he was trying to, like, do that thing where it's just like, don't forget the name that it's literally already out of your head. The Outcast. Thank you. Yes.
Sure.
Thank you. We'll keep trying to do something. As he
Just
like
do me a
helps a
favor.
friend like up.
Do me a favor though. Don't panic. Because panic in this situation will cause you to make a mistake.
Thank you. I will try not to.
And
Okay.
and we
And
walk
We'll be
away.
back tomorrow.
As we're all leaving, Ark will give a little half bow and say, "We'll see you in the future." No.
I don't know what to do with you, honestly.
No, I'm sorry. That was a me thing.
That was
I'm okay with
great.
it. It's great.
That was great.
I wish Ark would do that.
I was like,
That
I
was
like
great.
how there's a little bit of snark, but it's not it's like intentional, but not
Yeah,
intentional.
exactly.
Don't worry, Waffles. Arc 3, we can bring the snark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arc 3 is going to
He's
be
like a teenager.
overly sarcastic.
Super.
Only
Yeah.
learned sarcasm. That's
Yeah.
the
That's
only
it, the
emotive
sarcasm.
response they learned.
This is how far I've gotten.
What magic? What schools of magic do you want to learn? Sarcasm.
That's not. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
The one that helps me win every argument.
Yeah.
So, as you all you're heading back now?
I think so. To
Mhm.
both
Are
to
you
both tell the school and search the library. It sounds like.
Mhm.
Okay.
As
Are
we are
you still
heading
pl-
back, I am telling the others about the hooded figure that I saw, just to kind of keep everybody's head
Oh,
on a swivel.
then I'm
Really?
keeping eyes and ears open immediately
Oh,
as
that's
we go
exciting.
back.
All right. Go ahead and make me a perception.
Active perception check.
Arafe is going to give Ark the bag of holding.
Oh.
Interesting.
Is there a reason?
I have a feeling if they come for us, this is what they would want. And since you are under constant vigilance, maybe you should be the one that's holding on to this for now.
He kind of like furrows his brow a little. Do you think we should just leave it at home for now?
Yes, but on the way back, maybe you should hold on to it.
Sure. Ark will basically clip it to the front of his belt.
Okay. Yes.
26, 28 if it involves hearing.
Okay. You keep a. Actually, hold on.
The GM's rolling a die. What the heck?
You
What game is this?
New game for this.
are heading back. Are you taking canal or walking it?
I
Ark is
think
not
walking may be smarter.
Just to stay with us. Yeah.
Because as someone
Almost like
recently told
Arafe.
us, it's as being in a boat is not a good place to be attacked.
It's almost like Arafe may have given the bag to Ark so that we walked with him. I don't know.
Ooh, I like it.
Strategery.
So you sort of head back. You cross a bridge, kind of heading back towards that inner circle, ring around the Magaambya, from the pottery shop. And as you kind of cross over the bridge and head more into like dense buildings, you're keeping eyes out around you. You glance behind you, and you see, like, for a split second, some kind of hooded figure ducked behind a building, on the other side of the bridge, that disappears from view.
Tao would try to say quietly, there's still somebody following us.
Oh, we're being tailed? Awesome.
We should find them then.
That's what I was thinking.
If we go around a corner and no one can longer see you, no one can see you any longer, would you be able to find them in 10 minutes?
Well, here's a follow-up question to that. Are we trying to lose them? Or are we trying to get them to reveal themselves by, like, walking into a dead end or something?
Well,
Not lose them.
yeah.
Or I guess the question is like, are we trying to confront this person?
Yes.
I
Mm-hmm.
think so.
Okay.
This is all
I
happening like
could-
while
how-
we're walking.
Yeah.
How tall? Yeah. How tall are the buildings around us?
They're honestly of varying heights. There's like single stories, 2 stories.
Okay.
Circular buildings.
Right. Scalable buildings, though. Particularly ones with trees
Potentially.
next to them.
You could try to find one, though. You know that like you're still in a like it might be someone's house. Like you'll have to.
I just want to get on a roof. Well, I pause it to the rest of them. If we get following your idea arc close to one of the buildings and we go around it, I can try to get on top and maybe see who this person is.
All right.
Do you think you can do it?
I think I can get on top of a building.
Done it before.
Do you need to be unseen?
I would heighten my chances of seeing them before they see us. Yes.
Ark will very lightly bow his head. Obviously not. I don't think it's even in the moment of the talking. It's kind of like a little odd that he does it. And he'll like kind of bow his head and a half nod and say, "Do you think you can do it?"
Yes.
There's a puzzled frown. on
Why are you
Hideaki's face.
asking again?
Well, you didn't answer. But if you think you can, then I will help.
I think I can do it.
Understood. And then Ark will prepare for the next corner. They turn around to turn Tal invisible. He wants to do it like
Heyo.
right after they turn a corner, so hopefully if
Sure.
someone's chasing us, they can't see.
Yeah, I'm kind of keeping an eye open for like a either an easily scalable like side, like maybe like with a short wall that I can hop on, or like next to a tree or something that I can easily, or even if it's
Yeah.
just a tree since I'm now invisible.
So here's what I'm gonna do, real quick. I'm drawing a red line from Amechi's shop, to show you the path that you're going down as you want to get
Oh.
closer to the school. So this over here.
Is there a chance that you're on GM layer?
No,
No.
I can see it,
It's red. It's
but it
full
is
heart.
red.
Oh, I see it. Oh, my bad. I'm so colorblind.
No, if you want, I can
do
pick
you-
a different color. I'm so sorry. I was
if you
like
pick
trying to
white,
think what would.
white will probably pop a
White
bit
will
more.
pop on this.
Yeah.
There you go.
That-
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Sorry, I tried, but I was
No,
like, you know
that
what?
is okay. I was looking
So-
everywhere, like in the northern and western quadrant, and trying to find red lines from Amechi's pottery shop.
This bridge that I just pointed to you is the one that you just crossed. And so, you know, they have a bridge up ahead a little bit. And obviously this is like wonky and not to scale and blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah. So I would like to know, you've started talking and kind of walking. So I'm going to say you're like about here. Where are you liking to set up this? And I apologize for our podcast listeners for all my hears,
Yeah,
but it's
the here
I'm
is
drawn
at
on a
the
map.
end of a bridge, getting ready to turn left or right at a fork in the road.
Yeah, so like basically you naturally
So-
I'm gonna do like a dotted line. This is where you would go.
Yeah,
back to the
naturally we would go left and then we'd be in the Magaambya. I
Over
think
for
we
what?
go right. And there's a little circle.
Yeah, kind of a dead
and-
end type thing.
Yeah, but if we go right, then we have multiple opportunities to find something that works works for us. Like,
If they keep following us
What-
so far.
Mhm.
right,
Ar-
exactly.
Ark realizing, Waffles realizing the layout of the map now, and Ark, kind of as they cross the bridge, will say, I'm unsure if they'll follow us over the bridge. I would not if I was chasing somebody.
So we've crossed over the bridge, right? You said that we went and we just turned to the right, our first right before our last left. Sorry,
Basically,
podcast
you're in
listeners.
the inner circle.
So we've already crossed the bridge.
You've crossed that bridge. That's where you saw them on the other side. Like that, you didn't see them cross this that
They
bridge
haven't
you
crossed
just
the bridge.
passed.
Okay.
Well, they disappeared, and like you don't exactly know.
Right.
And you are now here, like
right at
close
the-
to
the-
crossing
yeah.
a bridge into the Magaambya proper.
What if, and Tal will just kind of try to like point generally towards the, there's a tree on the corner right before you cross the bridge to Magaambya. What if I go climb that tree and you all head the long way around, pointing to the right side of the fork in the road, that taking that long loop, and I can see if anyone similar to what I saw before follows after you. And if not, when I see you come back around, I'll just join you.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Not a bad idea.
Sure. Ark will not turn Tal invisible for this.
Okay.
Here's a side
then I'm
question.
gonna.
Here's a
I'm
side
gonna have to
question.
rely on my stealth, Dad.
Stealth.
Oh
map.
boy!
Do they only work for us?
Your masks.
Yes.
Oh, what a question.
Yes.
Okay, then never mind.
That makes
Kinda
sense.
like a tune. Yeah.
And
Good call. That makes
I mean,
sense.
I will
It makes
shoot out,
sense.
if there was a small possibility they didn't, it would take 10 minutes to attune to one.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
There's
That's a
also
good point.
that. True.
That's a very good point.
Great question. I never
Okay,
even
then I
considered
think what
Thank you.
I think what Tal is going to do then is aim for the first tree before they even get to the
Yeah.
cross in the road, because it's behind a building a little bit more, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore if we're not going to go invisital, it higher likelihood that they can that they
love
can get up and a bit more hidden
Hidden.
So
hidden kitten.
go ahead and make a. Let's start with a stealth check,
Yikes.
and the rest of you are just walking.
Acting natural.
I
This is why I was so excited for invisibility, because my stealth is 4.
I think while we're supposed to be acting naturally, Ark turns himself invisible and goes to join Tal without telling anybody.
And you're climbing the tree without telling.
I think
them?
Ark will stay at the bottom of the tree and like watch Tal as a first spotter. So like if Tal spots somebody, obviously they are gonna.
Yeah. So Hideaki and Arafe, Ark disappears. Are you continuing to walk?
Yep.
Completely.
You know what
He's.
I heard though?
Huh.
I heard acting natural. You know what acting makes me think of?
Yes, I do.
Performance checks.
Yep.
Mm.
Can I tell you exactly what Hideaki's
Great.
saying as
Great.
we roll this?
Grand.
So, Arafe, did you know that something I found out with these two new tales is walking is actually quite different, because like it's like a buoyancy thing, and also the fact that I've got that extra sort of weight
Make
and
the
stuff.
check.
I was gonna say, as Arafe fluffs her enormously long hair.
Yes.
I am aware of the floof. 17.
Mhm.
Right on cue, natural one.
Brilliant.
Good.
And what was
I-
your stealth?
Oh no.
12.
Hey, we matched because with a natural one, I got a 12.
Do you want me to roll mine or no? Because I'm invisible.
You're invisible, so I'm gonna let you go on this one.
I imagine like
I know
we're
there's
just
technically
walking,
rules, but
If
and
I
all of a
did-
sudden we're like "Oh, we're gonna act natural," and then Ark just disappears. We're like, oh
my
fuck!
God.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I don't know how to act natural anymore.
If
What
I did
a
had to make a
terrific
roll,
afternoon.
it was a 29.
Yeah. it
Okay,
was.
I like it.
Ark doesn't
Okay,
trust
so-
any of us to do anything right.
you you start kind of taking that loop, and you all like stutter for a second, and then like
Shimmy, dance.
yeah, like you like in trying to like show off your tails, Hideaki, you do this kind of weird little like thing, and then
It's
you
the
stop
robot.
walking, and
It's
you're like, wait, I'm
definitely the
supposed
robot.
to walk, and it's this really awkward like moment that you even catch, Tal, as you're climbing up this tree, and it's like cracks a little under your weight, and like the whole thing kind of like the leaves shiver, as if there's
Yeah.
somebody climbing it,
Well-oiled
as you kind of
machine.
get nestled up into that tree. Unbeknownst to you, another individual below, and you pause there for a little bit. Keep your eyes out. You don't see any hooded individual pass.
Tal's useless.
I want to look behind us too,
Look, Arafe and Hideaki ain't much better right
because
now.
there's a building path there's like buildings behind where Tal's in the tree. I
Yeah.
doubt that they would come into the main stretch, so that's like the primary
Yeah.
focus is going to be like.
So you want to make it from like a no to like you want to make a check, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You can make a perception check.
Yas, queen.
Yeah.
Do
it. 21.
Damn. Let's go.
21. So you despite the noise and you wait for everything to settle, you also keep an eye trained behind you, thinking like, okay, well, probably not going to be right in front of us. And you try to keep a close eye out, but you don't see anybody. And I'm not. Please know this is a world where people exist. So there's the occasional
Yeah.
person, and I'm skipping over that.
Oh yeah. The person I'm looking for is not
Right.
there
Exactly.
Exactly.
in my eyes.
You don't see anything.
I'll whisper down to Nim because I don't know Ark is there. And say, do you see anyone?
Ark will
Ark
say,
can hear this.
No.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
I'm gonna make a voluntary reflex save. See if
Oh
Tal
my
falls out of the
God.
tree. I mean, it's a 22, so probably not.
It's probably not.
But there's
you, like,
definitely like,
catch
a
yourself. There's-
wobble.
Yeah, and it rustles again.
And what? Why are you? What? You do? Okay.
I was helping.
Did you didn't see anyone then?
You did not either.
No.
And then I'll
So-
ask Nim.
Yes, and Nim is just like, oh, no. You didn't ask me to look, though.
I hate them so much.
God, the minute I could understand Nim, they turned into an asshole.
Yep.
Damn.
Yo, Ark is bleeding to Nim.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're snarky like that, though.
That's true.
Tal's gonna
So-
climb down then.
Yeah, we'll say
and-
you climb down and reconvene.
Ark will reconvene,
luck?
and like as he takes the last step, like in pace with everyone, is when he turns back visible.
Oh, of course you did.
Nice.
So,
I think you might have been right, Ark. I don't know if they actually came over the bridge. Or
I
if they
wouldn't,
did.
and I am pretty good at it, as you just saw.
Mm. If they did, we all were a little bit, well, you were invisible, but we need to get better at being more natural and unseen.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm really good at being seen. Really good at being seen.
We did an awful job, Hideaki.
You were seen. I
We
couldn't see anything else besides
Oh,
that.
see, I wanted to be distracting, but not that distracting.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Failure is a learning experience. I've learned that the hard way in our time here.
But it is a good thing to know if we come back. We might be making more of more of ourselves known than we maybe thought, just in general.
If I'm being honest with you, it's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
I
Just not this quickly.
don't. It's not a good thing, Hideaki.
Yeah, I could see how that could be construed that way. Certainly.
Yeah.
I have
just-
a question for you all.
No, yes, maybe. What will keep us alive?
Maybe.
Oh gosh.
As you discuss your perhaps notoriety on the rise, as you enter back into the inner circle of the Magaambya, there's a couple of things going on, and I would like to know what your priority is. I heard that there was
Sinking city.
research.
The city is sinking.
Okay.
The city is sinking.
Listen,
That's Tal's priority.
A floor, a
The city is
wall,
sinking.
a wall.
The city buildings
city?
are sinking.
The whole city. The whole city is
Understood.
sinking.
The whole thing, it's Venice all over again. God.
So you have the city, but you also had plans for tonight. So we'll definitely start with research. You want to look into this sinking city. But like there's
Specifically
some
how
other
to make
things
it
going on.
not sinking. Is
Yes. That would be good.
No sink. Please. None,
No sink,
please.
please.
No sink.
You go to the library and you look for sinks.
Yes.
Everything.
Many.
is
We
set
did
for
it!
kitchen sink.
We did it. So let me be
Yeah.
more specific. Do you want to still go back out tonight regarding some buskers and music and other?
Art
Yes.
does.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I
Okay,
also
so-
remembered that I don't have to use your instrument. I have one.
God damn it.
Excellent.
But I
Incredible.
won't remind anyone about it until we
Nope.
get there. And I
Oh,
handed an instrument. I said, "Sorry,
I have got my own. Yeah, I love that. Great.
So you are going to the library?
With a side step to the Sprout House to drop off Tal's thing.
Yes.
So we don't
Yes.
lose it, / get it stolen, / break it.
Yep.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
putting my little statuette on my windowsill shrine of all of my wonderful things I've collected.
Perfect. All right.
Also,
thank you for
Arafe
letting
is
me know
going
where it
to-
is.
Yeah, she's gonna grab her bow since it's the most expensive thing she owns, just to have it to entice more.
So you're taking some things on you.
Yeah, I'm going to take my bow with me from my room since we stop.
Okay. So your mother's bow, if that's
My
if I'm
mother's
not
bow.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Bobby.
So you grab some things and then you head off over to the library to do some research. So what I would like to do is make some rolls.
Yeah,
What do you
rolls.
want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Win.
Win, win,
That's
Make
win,
a
no matter
fortune
what.
telling roll to learn where the enemies will be, and we'll go attack them.
Yep.
Got it.
That's divination.
Wait.
And Ark doesn't want to know divination magic.
Ooh,
Ark has
got 'em.
fortune telling lore, actually. So
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't
Art
even have
model-
I don't
fortune
even
telling
remember
lore.
why.
You did
it's a
research on
lore that
something.
Pathfinder2e actually offers, and I picked it up as like an extra lore because he wanted to know about Tal and fortune telling because she was talking about the cards and stuff at that time, I think.
Oh,
mhm,
nice.
mhm,
Did a
mhm,
deep dive research.
Yeah, he's
Mhm,
special
mhm,
interested
mhm.
for a week.
Yeah. That hyperfixation, just for a little bit.
Just did.
So I'm
Just a
assuming
tad bit.
focusing yourselves on some magical solutions, because that is what your fortes are. You can make Arcana or Occultism checks as you research the library.
Arcana Plux.
Huckold.
28 for
Yeah.
Arcana for Arc.
27 for occult for Tau.
22 for Arcana for, I don't know why we're doing a Ranger call, like Power Ranger
No,
call.
we're doing it.
22.
Okay.
It's because the word Arcana has Arc in it, so he's clearly
Yeah,
the best at it.
Arc 2 Kana.
Natural 20 for a 27.
All right, Smart
Nice.
Shinobi.
You're so good at school.
Wait, I still rolled higher than you.
I
Yeah, by
well, yeah,
one.
I only
Okay,
have a
R2.
+7 in intelligence rolls.
Look, I'm gonna be fully honest. I loved the Ranger calls, but my brain ADHD'd hard, and I heard a lot of high numbers, and we're just gonna go with it as a collective group.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
My
That's
brain, I
so
don't know, you can
valid.
like play it back. I think I just stared in for a second and blinked a couple times, and I was like, nope, all of those are out of my head.
They were
Well,
all
you know
plus
what?
20.
I have
And-
ADHD.
3 of us were 27 or 28.
Yep, you did
And
good.
Hideaki
Perfect,
failed.
perfect.
Thanks.
And
Um,
Hideaki was the 20th.
Can't sit with us.
So
Only 25s or higher.
Get good. God,
good.
are you
kinda,
even
like,
an expert?
Yes.
you scatter into the library, putting all your stuff like on like one of those like desks and kind of like go all your separate ways and kind of come back together, each with different books open to different pages, as you start discussing your options. So a couple of things that you're finding is one of the quickest things that you kind of identify is a ritual is more so what's going to be you're looking for, and we know this group has the best success with rituals, right?
The bell
Listen, I'll be
diggity.
there this time.
Well, it's
And
Is-
I'll
is
be
Cal
alive
dead?
this time. Yeah, I was going to say, the 2 times
Where-
that they tried, I was either not present or dead.
Yep, we're 1 for 2.
We'll say
Maybe I'll be great at rituals.
you because there's a honest success, but there's also a critical success, and I do believe.
Can we also say like hand wavy that we stopped by like Teacher Ott and we're like, hey, the water's bad.
Yeah, absolutely. You stop by Teacher Out, you let him know who's like on his way to class, to like a class, and he's just like checks like you're looking into it?
Yeah.
Yes, but they're going to need
Flashes
a lot
you a
more
thumbs
help.
up.
A lot more help. A lot more help. A lot
And
more.
he's like running into a class. I'm so sorry. I'm like, well, we can talk later. It's great that you got this. Bye.
You always say that. You always say that.
We are 4 people.
1 cohort.
And you
Grown-ups.
Yeah.
I say as a 24-year-old cat person.
I know, right?
I'm 6.
That's true.
I'm 20. We should figure out when everyone's birthdays are, by the way.
I was gonna say, is Airfay the oldest one in the group?
No, Tao's
Prob-
24.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. The options that we have here are you find the unseen underpinning ritual, which is, I'm trying to like find it because I'm a little confused here. Hold on. When you have one name but then you have another name. Discuss for a second. I just have to flip pages.
Hideaki, I don't think that
Riff.
necromancy
So
book
good
is
at
gonna
this.
help us find anything.
I mean, you never know. It's like I'm just putting it to the side. You know, it's not a big deal. It's not like I'm not the first person looking at necromancy or anything like that.
Okay.
I looked at necromancy once.
Sorry. Thank you.
Did you really?
So,
Did you hit a dead end in that?
Got it.
Yeah.
I can't believe you brought that joke back to life.
You know, I didn't get it until you explained it.
Oh boy.
So Ark, you find the base of a Actually, no, I'm gonna say Tal finds the base of one ritual, which is unseen custodians, which some of you D&D might be kind of similar with unseen servant, right? So like unseen custodians, and Arc, I think together with that, you easily find a way to sort of like alter it. So instead of it being an unseen custodian, you're able to basically combine it into a unseen underpinning ritual, which basically instead of conjuring unseen servants, you're going to create stronger, immobile, unseen servants that basically are going to support a building's foundation.
And is that
That's one
forever?
That's a great question.
Duration of spell, please.
The duration will depend on the ritual's success, I believe. No, it might be forever. It might be forever. But how much weight it can bear will be
Gotcha.
dependent on its success.
Understood. That makes sense.
Additionally, so yeah, that's that one. And then Airfay, they're kind of all discussing this as a group. And like building out this and Hideaki, you come in here as well. Both Arc and Hideaki, being particularly adept in teacher arts classes, like are used to twisting spells and kind of like making it your own a little bit. So you kind of are both hard at work at like reworking this ritual. And Airfay, you are looking at it separately, and you just kind of come across another one called community repair. And it is like weirdly societal. It's interesting, this one. It has to do with performance in a way. And you're like, how the heck everybody else kind of looked over it because you're like, how the heck is this going to help? But basically, community repair ritual, if the primary caster serves as like an MC or a leader, and you recount a story or involved in X public work, which hearing that this pottery was also basically a community center, you think to yourself, this kind of is a bridge that you're able to jump with your natural 20, that this might count as like a public work that you could utilize this for. And basically in recounting its story and like how it used to be in its glory, you're able to return it to that state.
What about this one? It's a little odd, but it kind of uses stories to return things to what they all used to be.
That's cool.
She'll
Seems
turn the
kinda
book
up our
around
alley.
and
Oh.
show.
That's really neat.
Did you know
That's
of this
really
spell
cool.
before?
No, just came across it.
You were able to find it in this time?
Yes?
Ark will just nod and stay silent.
Does that surprise you?
I was just surprised I didn't find it.
You
Nick,
found
you
another
What was
useful
our
item.
different-
Me? Perception?
And yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
think.
Is Rin making this check? Like,
No, all of y'all are here. No, you know what? Hideaki, Tal, and Airfay make the check.
All right.
Yeah, I got a 24.
Can Ark
This
make the
dice
check?
is excellent.
Dirty 20.
Natural 2027.
Jeez.
It's a night, y'all. It's a good night, which means
Mhm.
next week's gonna
It's a
be rough.
Thursday night.
Yeah, I was really
Oh, yeah,
expecting
spoiler,
something
we're
else.
next week.
But it's fine. What was that, Airfay? I'm so sorry. What was your actual roll?
I got a 20. I already forgot what I got.
4.
Holy crap.
Okay.
24, thank you.
24.
Like, I didn't write it down. My brain broke.
Okay. You wanted to make a roll, Arc, right?
Sure.
Yeah, make a will saving throw.
Oh
I'm
boy.
great at these.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
26.
Oh boy, oh
What?
boy.
In the library.
I beat you by 1. Haha. And a natural 20.
It's a natural
Haha.
16.
So Tal, probably with your natural 20. you're gonna catch the briefest glimpse of this because you're already sitting together at the library. And Waffles, I'm gonna take a little bit of the reins here, but tell me if anything is not how you'd like
Oh,
it. This little exchange, when there's just like this pause when Arafe asks, like, did you expect, like, this like kind of confusion, you see Ark clench their jaw and like this tension, and then they're like just thinking to themselves for a moment, and they go, no, I just thought I'd be the one to find it. Briefest glimmer on the side of their face.
Mm-hmm.
Tal is going to quickly. Is it a golden glimmer? What color? What color is it? What color is it?
What color does
What
the sword
color is
shine?
it?
What is it?
What color is it?
It's a golden glimmer.
Hey,
Okay.
let's go.
Tal is going to write quickly on a small piece of paper. Observation. The statement that was said, the action that they witnessed, this is not your norm. Also, gold glimmer. And then I'm going to fold it in half and pass it to Ark.
Is there a way to write that
Yep.
quickly?
Seems like a lot.
Okay.
Did
I
anyone
love
I mean,
else go?
we're in the
It's a little
library. Like
science.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like
Hypothesis.
They're
Anyone
writing
else?
it down as Arafe's kind of giving
It's like-
Ark a slight glare, and we're just kind of like staring at each other
Yeah.
for a second.
yeah, and I assume we're not leaving like immediately.
Yeah.
And also, it can be
you're-
I can give it to you as like we leave. It's more like
This
I'm
is- yeah,
writing
this
it
is all in
down
the
so I can
moment.
make
Sure,
sure
sure,
that you
sure.
get it.
I'm still like stuck because when you said observation, I just thought you were HK-47 from Knights of the Old Republic. So that's all I saw.
Observation.
Yeah, observation. Query.
Fleshy meat
And so-
bag.
Yep.
What I'm gonna do is,
We can do.
as you have two rituals to decide between and preparations to make for tonight,
Indeed.
for shenanigans will ensue.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
I will be getting to each of you these two rituals so you can read over them and have more accurate discussions as to like which one will actually play to your strengths, which one do you think you can actually pull off, etc., etc. So I don't want you to have to do that without those
Blow
two
up
in
the
front of
house.
you. So since I have those to get you, and we have a moment where Tal this time notices a glimmer of gold on the side of Ark's chest. Face. The fuck did I just say?
Woo!
He's
Oh.
just
I see
showing
a
up
peak.
everywhere.
I see a peaks just like just to the side. There's like a
I'm
little
trying
tiny
to
window.
think why I said that.
Ignacy
why
is
did-
just like, someone say chest.
Like, was I thinking of the
wagon
Mayor
chest?
Sanda's thing? I don't know. I
Hey,
don't-
look,
literally don't know why I
You just
said that.
deleted.
Oh.
You deleted a word in
I
Adam.
wait.
heard once in the grand scheme of things that all that glitters is gold.
God damn it.
But also, instead of writing, I have a spell that literally just
Oh.
involves touch.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
could literally just reach over and with like a finger touch Ark's shoulder, and with mind link, mentally impart to that target an amount of information in an instant that could otherwise be communicated in 10 minutes.
Ooh. And
That
so
is
you
fucking
download.
So I'm going to do that.
You
I download
that
information into Ark.
You're
I do.
literally a torrent.
You
Okay.
are. Ark,
Yeah.
what's your immediate reaction?
Immediate reaction is caution because magic can make up anything in the world. Just like Tal thinks they were in a dream. Or in a real place when it was a dream.
So to caution to the information that's coming
Yes, to the like he sees the information, but I also assume that he clearly knows that Tal cast a spell on him.
in. Yes,
I am currently,
listen,
like-
this is a very like magical place, and I think you are at this point quite familiar with magic. This is like to an extent like you're downloading information in an instant that would be over 10 minutes, but it's still you hear like however that comes out magically, like you would hear Tal's voice basically talking to you, but you just gathered it all in one moment. Like you know this is Tal telling you something.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
So
I think it's caution, honestly.
Did
Mhm.
only Tal see the glimmer? I missed that.
Yes, with the natural 20.
I rolled high.
Thanks to that high will save.
So
Okay.
so Airface seen it
Damn.
before, Tal's not seen it, and Hideaki hasn't seen it at all. Oh
Mhm.
boy. It's on.
And I
I've missed
suppose
it twice now.
With-
got it once. I missed it twice.
with the
I'll go for three.
decisions ahead of not just rituals, but how the heck you're going to get slapped in the face, we will end tonight.
With daggers.
And we're going to pick up next week because we're going to go back to back because we missed a week. And so we'll see y'all
What a week
soon.
to do it, honestly, right?
Yes.
Like what a
We'll
week to
come
do
right
it.
back.
Things
Yeah.
be
More.
ramping.
Yeah, we ramped it, baby.
So thank you all so much. And we'll see you.
Oh my god, it's so
in a
fun.
bit.